Beyond the gates of mighty kingdoms lies a vast, unexplored world. A world of honor. A world of mystery. Danger. The world of Warcraft.
"4 years have passed since the mortal races banded together and stood united against the might of the Burning Legion. Though Azeroth was saved, the tenuous pact between the Horde and the Alliance has all but evaporated. The drums of war thunder once again.
in a land of mighty kingdoms. New threats emerge. Ancient alliances are reforged. And an unexplored world awaits. Blizzard Entertainment proudly invites you to experience Warcraft from a whole new perspective. Stake your claim. Live the legend. A world awaits. The world of Warcraft.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. The date is April 23rd, 2019. It is I, Kargoz, coming back to you guys with another classic World of Warcraft stream. I have 3 iced coffees by me. I have a huge ambition for this stream. I'm feeling super good right now. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. Gorgeous people outside. The trees are looking gorgeous, even though I'm a little sniffly, got the seasonal allergies. And it's going to be a hell of a stream, guys. Got a lot planned for today. So welcome back, guys. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope you guys are still saving up that PTO, stacking up the snacks. Get a little mini fridge in your room, you know what I mean? Get a catheter. Get maybe have to order some lean cuisines or something like that. Already, you don't know who did it, man. Who did that? Who's making my day? John C. I know he put $1 in the chat before. Fatty McWhiskey with the 300 biddies, my man. Thank you very much. That's 2 Monster Energy drinks or something right there, man. Thank you very much. That's keeping me going. Gonna keep my stamina up once the game drops. I don't know why I'm super excited today. I feel good. Some days you feel meh. Some days you feel good. I am feeling high speed, low drag. It's gonna be a good stream, guys. Here's the plan. This is what I'm hoping to accomplish. We may not accomplish it, but we're gonna try. I want to go through the classes. You guys are gonna pick. because I want to do a lot of engagement with you guys. So you guys are going to pick. We'll go class by class. And I want us together as a team. As a team, we just think about everything we can possibly think about when it comes to launch, right? If you're actually going to pilot this class, think about everything you can think about. Every little min-max, juicy, scrumptious detail that we can sink our teeth into. We can be thinking about ability progression, talent progression, how much ice-cold milk. I want to buy 17 ice-cold milk at minute 4. Like, you know, or not 4, or whatever it be, you know what I mean? But we're gonna go deep. I want to go deep. Deeper than ever before. So deep. We're getting deep. It's going to be a deep stream. Every class, we're going to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. We're going to do all of them, man. We're going to do all of them. Nice haircut. Thank you, Chauncey. It's getting a little long, actually, though. I gotta go to the barber again. But you know I mean business, man. Look at this. Only in America. Only in America, guys. I think one of these in Europe would be like 2 or 3 people's portions, right? I don't even know. I don't even know, guys. We're going deep, though. We're going deep today, baby. We're going real deep. All 9 classes, hopefully. Maybe not. But it is gonna so much class penetration. Yes, I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Class penetration. We're gonna go deep in the classes. Jake Stone with the $2. Crushing peach Red Bulls and cocaine for launch, my man. My man, you do what you gotta do, my man, Jake Stone. I'm not here to judge, man. Everybody's got their own poison, right? I'm a bit of a coffee and beer kind of guy. Thing is, though, I don't think I can drink beer come launch, because I love me some beer, but I'm a burn out, man, if I drink a lot of beers.
Red Bulls and cocaine for launch.
You know that feeling? Like, first you get hype, you start drinking alcohol, you start drinking beer, and you get super hype. But if I'm doing like a 24-hour stream and I crush like 6 beers, I think I'm gonna be super tired. You know. You're gonna get super tired, so I'm probably gonna lay off the beer come Classic, man. I don't think I'm gonna go beer for Classic. I think I'm just gonna stay strictly, you know, protein bars by my right, mini fridge of, you know, Monster and Red Bull to my left, and then I'm gonna be eating these little these little meals. Let me pull it up, guys. Let me show you this. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not sponsored by these people, but it's kind of a funny thing. I don't know. You probably have your equivalents in your different countries, but this is what I'm gonna do. Not sponsored by these people, not trying to shill for these people, but you probably have some kind of service like this. It's called Freshly. It's a little bit expensive. It ends up being like $8, $9 a meal, but the food is good, fam. It's good food. It actually tastes like someone made you food. It's not frozen. It comes to your door. It's like in a little container. You just microwave it for like two minutes, and yo, it's actually really tasty. I've been doing it a little bit, preparing for the wedding, but when it comes Classic, I might order just a pallet of these, man. I'll be like, all right, man, I'm gonna put you on follow. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the microwave. Make me some risotto, you know, or maybe some Korean bibimbap, you know, something like that, and then come back, high speed, low drag, come back in the game. All right, look at everybody in here, man. Look at everyone. You're going full Cartman? Hell yeah, we're going full Cartman, dude. Like never before, full poop sock. Welcome, everybody. I've used Freshly too. Oh, John knows about Freshly? Hell yeah, dude. Freshly is a little expensive, but it's not bad. You know, if you're in a pinch and you're trying to go 2 weeks super hard, I think Freshly is good. Kargoz orc mode engaged. I'm always in orc mode, baby. Always. Maybe off topic, Kargoz, but here goes. What do you do for a living? So I did have a full-time job in the games industry, and I'm in the Army National Guard right now. But pretty much, I'm gonna give this a shot, guys. I'm gonna go full-time, you know, like whatever you call it, content creator. Like, I'll be here for you guys. This is my job, is to serve you, the community, and I will try to do it and see what happens. It would be a dream for me, you know. I love this game, love this community. It's gonna be awesome, man. We're rolling triple fisting, Mickey D's, McCafe iced coffees, no flavor, just cream. He shoots people for a living. Try to drink beef soup instead of Red Bull? Beef soup? Like stock? Beef stock? Does that even do anything for you? I mean, I like me some soup though. I like me some soup. Welcome everybody. For those of you just tuning in, we're gonna go deep. We're gonna go super deep, deeper than ever before. All the classes. We're gonna create custom launch plans. So everybody here is gonna be super ahead of the curve, right? Hopefully we come away from this feeling like this. Hopefully we come away from the stream feeling like this. Oh yeah, man, I'm ready to go, dude. I am feeling good. We're gonna try and just like, I don't know, man. We're gonna work together on this though, because I don't know. I'm very much a student of the game. Every day I learn stuff new stuff, and I feel like a lot of you guys are probably better at the game than I am and know more. So if we just communicate, if you ping me on Discord, we're gonna go through the classes, right? We start with Mage. If I miss something, just yell at me, yell in the chat, ping me on Discord, say, hey man, you forgot about this, and we'll put it all in this, you know, nifty power. Oh, by the way, you guys know what this is? Can you even see this? Let's see if you guys can see this. This thing right here, it's actually pretty cool, man. I'm trying it out today. First stream. I don't know if you can see it on the stream. You guys know what this is? Anybody know what this is? It's called a Stream Deck. So look, I hit one button and it goes to PowerPoint. Press it again, it goes back. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Stream Deck buttons, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. It's called the Stream Deck. It's pretty good. It makes your life easier. I have a black thumb when it comes to streaming. Most of you know this by now. The chance of me having a non-scuffed intro on a stream is like it's like getting a BOE epic drop. And so far so good with this one though, right? It's stabilizing a little bit. Yes, stream decks are handy. I'm just getting into it, but I love how I can just tap this one button and my PowerPoint comes up. Which class for priest? Which class for priest? Which class for priest? Is this a trick question? Robin Pozdemi? Shout out to Buttons. Big shout out to Buttons. Yes, shout out to Buttons. You Stream Deck, you got one as well. I like it. You know what I like about it? So this thing right here, you don't have to just use it for streaming. And I'm not sponsored by whoever makes this, but this, you can use this as extra binds in game. Anybody know that? You can use it for whatever. It's like having another keyboard. So I was dreaming about having a foot pedal. Shout out to Egregious. I know you're watching, fam. We're trying to get a foot pedal so we can be on some Mozart shit playing the game, you know, like as a modifier, foot pedal, you know, foot pedal 1, foot pedal 2, foot pedal 3. You could use this as a foot pedal, but you'd have to have some finesse with your toes, you know? I'm thinking like big toe on this button, you know, and you could have a little, you could be like an organist. You'd be like one toe on each button and just, dude, you'd be like the maestro. So basically a gamepad with less buttons. Yeah, I mean, you can use it for whatever you want. You can use it for streaming. You can use it for Premiere Pro. You can use it to, like, you know, go skip frames back and forth, stuff like that. But I'm excited. I like it. I'm probably going to get the bigger one now. Kargoz, what horde class would you recommend for mage? Troll, man. I like trolls. Trolls have been growing on me a lot, dude. Like trolls. Can I get a link to where you got that? Just type it in, bro. Stream Deck. El Gato. Atticus, what's up, man? Atticus, good to see you in here, my man. Phage in the house. Look at all the homies. Are you guys excited, man? Do I sound like I'm on crack right now? I feel like I sound like I'm on crack, but that's okay. I just one of those days, my energy level is just high, man. I'm just feeling motivated right now. And I just want to crush the stream with you guys. It's gonna be really fun. Don't put your stanky toes on the Stream Deck. I feel you, right? It's kind of not the cheapest thing ever, but if you could have a foot pedal though, it may be worth it, man. Like, it may be worth it just to take the L with the Stream Deck, and then you get a foot pedal. It could be worth it, man. I don't know. You're a bit hyphy? Yeah, I'm a bit hyphy. You're so saturated on webcam, Connor? I'm feeling saturated full of life right now. I'm full of life. Life is spilling out all over the place. Where are you from? I'm from New York. Thoroughbred New Yorker, but where I'm at right now, I'm a New Yorker forever, but I'm living in San Francisco right now, like in the SF Bay Area, East Bay. I've been toying with Raspberry Pi lately. I heard about that. That's you can make like special programs. I don't even know how it is, man. I just know smart people use that Raspberry Pi. It's all that caffeine, damn straight. You're green, Kermit. Am I green? Yeah, I got these new lights too, so I gotta like configure them maybe. I got these light boxes that came in the mail yesterday, so my lighting may be a little bit wonky right now. I'm feeling it out. But welcome guys, welcome Tina. Should we get into it? 20 minutes streaming already? Maybe we should. I like, you know, where's everybody coming from? I like to talk back and forth with each other. Anybody coming? You know, we actually talk about that a lot. Let me think of an interesting question to ask you guys. Let me think of an interesting question. Okay, here's an interesting question. Who remembers the name of their first character that they ever made? Anybody remember that? Mine was kind of embarrassing. Mine was kind of cringy. Anybody remember their first character's name? And just open up, man. Be vulnerable. If it was some corny thing like Fireball with a P, just say it, man. We're all friends here, right? I'd buy each and every one of you a beer or an iced coffee. Let's see. Come on. Okay, I'll tell you mine while I wait for you guys. Tom... Chico Mancer? I love it, dude. Oh my god, dude. Look at this fireball. Yeah, no, like Phire fireball. I'm sure that actually my friend Jim, that was his AIM name, Fireball. He kept it for the longest time. It was so funny. Then his Xbox Live name was Sofa King. I had some cringy names when I was playing Xbox. I had some X's in my names, like a little edgy teenager. You know what I mean? Like my first character I ever made was my Xbox Live gamer tag, and my Xbox Live gamer tag was like an auto-generated gamer tag. You know, if you they just give you like a random adjective and a random noun. So mine was Sharper Edge. And that was the first, that was my Torn Warrior on Illyria server. It was a normal server. Very first character I ever made. Torn Warrior named Sharper Edge. He was like a Black Angus looking beast guy, warrior. Got him level 17. Rest in peace. Sataron. Blood K Hunter. That's what I'm talking about. It's a little funny bit. That's a good question. Oh, Kargoz the cringe edgelord. I know, man. I know. We all, we all grow, man. We all grow. It feels like a different reality ago. You know, when you were a little kid playing these different games, anybody can relate with that? It feels, honestly, like a different life. It feels like I was reincarnated at some point. It doesn't even feel like... I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It just was a totally different set of everything, man. My first Xbox Live tag was Sex Tornado. Jake Stone. All right. Sharper Edge is quite edgy indeed. Yes. Very literally. Very literally. Okay. So we have this up. Let me press this stream button. Stream deck button. See if the PowerPoint comes up. Ba-bam! Oh, I love that, dude. I don't have to fiddle around. I'm like a goldfish. I got like a 5-second attention span. So these buttons are just big and bright. And I just click it. And then it's good. All right, so here we go. Live class leveling plans. This is what we're going to be getting into today, ladies and gentlemen. Again, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. A million welcomes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be picking a class. And then we're going to go deep. Go really deep. We're going to talk about everything we can think about. If Classic WoW is launching in a week, are you really fully prepared? Maybe some people don't want to be prepared. That's fine. Some people don't want to be prepared. They want to go into it, and they just want to go with the flow and take it one yard at a time. And that's fine. But, you know, I like planning. I like to sink my teeth into this stuff and feel like I have a rock-solid plan in place, you know? Okay, so we'll vote on it in a second, but this is the things we're going to touch on. So we're going to talk about leveling, strategy, solo, duo, 5-man. We'll probably do it from the perspective of solo. What do you think, man? Like, probably solo, right? I mean, we could do duo. I love duo too, but I think most people, even though I've been advocating for duo leveling, most people are going to level solo. So we could talk maybe a little bit about duo, but it's going to be mainly solo. And then we got leveling route. So we'll talk about, you know, maybe just the 1 to 30, because it gets a little boring. It gets a little streamlined. After 30 starts to come together a lot, right? Ability progression. So the order, oh no. That was supposed to be talent progression. That was the little parentheses thing. So ability progression, this is a big one, guys. Do you know which abilities you're going to not train so that you're going to have enough money to buy a certain weapon or to buy something that you need at a certain time? You know, maybe buy a BOE green weapon sold from a vendor. We got to plan the ability progression. I think this is a really big one, a juicy one. Together, like, think about us. We have like 1,000 people in here together across all the platforms and everything like that. We will come up with some really juicy stuff if we start thinking about this. So ability progression, we'll talk about rotation, talent progression. That's where we're going to talk about the order of operations, weapon training. When do you train weapons? That's something that gets left out. When do you go train, you know, guns or swords or whatever? Weapon progression, pet progression. This is something I get questions on this every day because I'm a hunter, man. I always have to talk about the pet progression, but warlocks have kind of a pet progression too, you know, when they're picking up the grimoires and if they're going to do the class quests, professions, so all stuff like that. And whatever you guys think of, you know, this isn't like a set in stone list. Bro, Kargoz, you were making each afternoon at work bearable until Classic comes out. Oh, dude, that feels good, Mad Hook. Anybody at work right now? Don't worry, I'm not going to tell anybody. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell your boss. Who's at work right now? Who's slacking right now? Anybody slacking? Anybody slacking? Got the, you know, got it on the second monitor. I think in Europeans it's probably over, right? Work's over by now. Hey, Zog Tiger, dude, good to see you in the chat. Plan a quest route and a grinding route so you never get behind. That's another, okay, I want to add that to the list. So I want to talk about grind spots too. It won't be like, grind spots aren't super class specific, but they sort of are because certain classes are going to excel against maybe low armor mobs where some, you know, classes that are doing spell damage are not going to benefit from low armor, high armor, whatever. Work, Omega Lol. Yeah, you guys got to get ready to start saving up that PTO or quit or something, man. Now's the time. Lol me. Look at this. I am my boss. That's the spirit. Look at all these slackers, man. Look at all these slackers. Semi off topic from Chris Lopez. What's your opinion on damage meters? I remember back when it was kind of a controversial between guilds. Some said it was toxic, others said it created positive morale. Interesting. I like damage meters. I never really thought about it from the perspective, what are the cons of damage meters? It feels like you're more in control when you know who's doing less damage. Yeah, I mean, there's a way of approaching it, though. How do you guys approach it if someone is doing low damage or not doing what they need to do? You can approach that situation with, you know, finesse, and you can be like, hey, man, you there? Like, hey, dude, you there? You know, you don't have to just call them out and be super toxic about it. I think it's probably a good thing though, right? A lot of people love to see the fat parses. They love to see the big the meters, and it's hit or miss. Some groups get toxic real quick though. Damage meters devalue utility. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, right? Like when you're factoring in utility is kind of unquantifiable. But do you think damage meters? I feel like damage meters are a big reason of why people want to strive to be the best though. And be really good and try hard as opposed to maybe slacking off a lot. If there was no damage meters, don't lie, some of you guys would slack off, man. I'd probably slack off. Throw up a couple dots as the warlock, man. Start reading Reddit on the other monitor. Like if you have damage meters, it holds you accountable. Same with healing meters. And people know that it's not like you don't have to take damage meters or healing meters as the end all be all best metric ever, you know, but did you change your webcam saturation? I didn't. But I have these new lights behind me, like these softbox lights, and I think it maybe makes me look a little bit weird. But is there a fun way to level a rogue without going sword spec? Oh yeah, Freaky rogue. Yes, my man. We've been talking about this a bit. You go ambush spec and you level with your friend. It is very fun. Almost any class can kind of do it. Like if you're a rogue, you just level as ambush spec if you're duo leveling. It doesn't matter. Like you could be with a priest or whoever. That person could get initial aggro. You open up from behind with ambush. That mob's like dead, pretty much, man. I would totally go ambush. That has provided me a fun way, something to look forward to if I ever had to level a rogue. Blizzard should disable all add-ons for Classic. That's savage, man. What do you guys think about that? Disable all add-ons for Classic? All of them? It'd make the game a hell of a lot harder, right? It'd make the game a hell of a lot harder. But it's just, I don't know. What I would like to see personally, it's a little bit less risky, is that I'd like to get 2-3 weeks, even just 1 week, honestly, it'd be fine, with no add-ons. I think that'd be cool. What's the harm in that? 1-2 weeks without add-ons. You level in 1 to 30 or something with no add-ons. No harm, no foul there. Give people a little bit of the taste of OG vanilla, like the launch. Are there any raid viable specs for Warlock besides the 2 Ruin specs? I don't know too much about Warlock. I just know SM Ruin, DS Ruin. There probably are. I mean, with most classes, you can have a little bit of flexibility with the talents and splash a little bit here, splash a little bit there. So there might be, but SM, DS Ruin are the only ones that stick out to me right now. But I'm excited. For those of you who don't know, check out the stream, man. Look below my head right now. That's not a hunter icon. Last time I checked. Check the action bar. Decided, man, going Warlock. You guys actually helped decide for me. We did a straw poll, and in true Kargoz fashion, the straw poll determined my fate. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to sink my teeth into Warlock because it's a brand new class to me. And especially like high-end PvP as a Warlock, that's something I always wanted to experience. And oh man, I just envisioned myself being a badass Soul Link Orc Warlock with command pet racial, and I'm just walking through Stranglethorn Vale with full Nemesis on. Let me pull up Nemesis. Do you guys know what Nemesis is? Nemesis? Dude, Nemesis looks insane. Check out this Nemesis armor. Nemesis Warlock armor. Dude. Check this out. Check this out. This is me. Soon, this is me. Oh, man. Imagine walking through Stranglethorn with a Fell Hunter wearing this. How scary do you look, man? You just look bad. I love how even though they're casters, even though they're clothies, they still look like, you know, they still look thick, man. Like they look solid. You know, they look really solid. And look at the set bonus too. Nemesis set bonus. Nemesis. Let me look at the set bonus. The set bonus is sweet. Check out this set bonus. Your pet gains 20 stamina and 130 spell resistance against all schools of magic. How fun does that sound? Dude, Your Fell Hunter, I'm pretty sure, already has bonus spell damage, right? I mean, bonus spell resist, right? Was there a little hiccup on the stream? Refresh. No, dude, it went down? No, don't tell me that. It just says zeros drop frames. Oh, I think that's just a YouTube bug or something like that. Real talk. OBS looks fine. Should be good now, though, right? Kargoz summoning in the troops. Dude, I can't wait to have full Nemesis, man. Not only does it look so cool, but just being an Orc, Soul Link Warlock, pound for pound heavyweight champ, Mike Tyson style. All right, let's go back to the PowerPoint here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, YouTube's looking fine too, though, man. All right. Nemesis is useless gear. It's cool for Soul Link PvP, though, man. Look at that. I mean, I don't know about Warlock itemization as of right now, but that set bonus seems like the nuts, dude. That set bonus, I don't know. All right, guys. So we're gonna do a straw poll and we're gonna vote on the first class we're gonna do. So let me put it up here. Again, the name of the stream, the theme of the stream, is we're gonna try and go deep and craft like launch plans, not even just leveling, just craft plans. If Classic Order will come out next week for every class, so I'm gonna start writing them out. Which class first? Mage, Priest, Warrior, Warlock, Rogue, Hunter. Am I gonna get all 9? Shaman, Druid. Did I get all 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man, I got all 9 first try, all 9 classes without having to check anything. Nemesis is top tier RP gear. I mean, it seems good, right? For PvP. Orange Juice subscribed at tier 1. My man, welcome Orange to the stream. Thank you very much for your support. I hope it's gonna be a good stream. I have high hopes for this stream. I do. All right. So if you guys could be so kind to vote on that straw poll, and we will get to it. Let's see what I'm gonna vote for. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna vote for. I'm just gonna vote silently. Okay. Did you guys not get the straw poll? Oh, Shaman. Shoot, man. Oh my god, I didn't get it first try. Alright, we have to vote again. I'm sorry. Shaman twice. Okay. Warrior. Paladin. Rogue. Shaman. Warlock. Priest. Druid. Mage. Hunter. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, this should be good. This should be good now. Sorry about that, guys. We're gonna vote again. Paladin, not a class. Confirmed. Alright, vote again. Sorry about that. Let's figure it out. Kargoz, ironically, I was debating Hunter or Warlock and decided Hunter, so we're in the opposite scenario, man. You're gonna have a good time playing Hunter, though, dude. Hunter, I'm always gonna be a Hunter at heart, I think. Alright, let's see what you guys thought. Refresh. Oh, is straw poll lagging, man? I'm not seeing the votes come up. Unless no one wants to participate. 0000. Okay, there we go. It's coming up. Wow, Mage number 1. Okay, it's decided. Mage number 1. There's no one's catching up to Mage. Let us do Mage first. Okay, so we're going. There's no presentation in store. We're going to go through this together, and we're gonna figure it out. So leveling strategy. The first thing we're gonna talk about with relation to Mage. Do you solo as a Mage? Do you duo level as a Mage? Do you want to do some 5-man shenanigans as a Mage? So I will start here by saying that I used to feel that mages were kind of a slow 1 to 10. I have since changed my position on this after seeing and witnessing people like Xrus get to 10 on an hour and 20 minutes. Mages, IMO, are just nasty levelers at this point. where mages can struggle, and by struggle, it's not a huge struggle, but it's an issue, it's a pain point, is if you are not able to get significantly ahead of the pack, you are leveling amongst everyone else, the AoE spots where you get these monstrous XP per hour peaks are not going to be available to you. Now, with that said, you can still level as a mage normally, you know, frostbolting stuff, wanding stuff, front-loading damage, whatever you need to do, and going about your business. And if you find an opportunity to AoE grind, you can pivot and start doing that. Ideally, in a best-case scenario as a mage, you're going to want to be AoE grinding as your primary source of experience. You can quest between, you know, grind spots, but that is really the name of the game. Let's talk about the early games, though. The early game, though. So we're gonna assume that we're a solo mage right now. Duo mage, even 1 to 10, was really fun, though, I have to say. We did it the other day, and the strategy consisted of one mage dumping mana while the other mage would get value from their staff, and they would just purchase the staff at the local village or the vendor, and you'd go back and forth, and you had very little downtime, and it was quite efficient. But if we're leveling as a solo mage, we're gonna break it down here. Day 1 launch is getting to level 10 in under 3 hours. I don't know, man. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I mean, anything is possible, right? Like, the launch could be scuffed. There could be some disaster where, you know, only a few people are able to get in, and that changes the game, or maybe it's crazy. You never know, right? This is one thing that you have to be when you're leveling in Classic WoW. You have to be super adaptive and not just have one plan that you're dead set on doing. Think on your feet and be able to come up with a kind of creative solution, whether that means disregarding your plan for a few levels and going to go grind in some weird location where you can have some space. That might be the play, or whatever. Hype boys indeed, dude. The hype indeed. Auto shot timer for Hunter because you can move between shots. Yeah, that's a big deal. And not having an auto shot timer or a swing timer on launch, that's a bad time, man. Leveling as a warrior, really leveling as any class. Every class can benefit from a swing timer, whether it's just you're tracking your swings or your enemy swings. No auto shot timer for a Hunter. That's going to make it, you know, harder to level for sure. You can still count Mississippis in your head though, right? So you have if you have a two second, you know, if you have a 2-second attack speed bow, you can go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, shoot again. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, shoot again. So it's not like, you know, not like RIP, but all right. So let's go over to Classic DB, and let's take a look at these early rank spells, mage spells. We can look at Fireball and Frostbolt. So one thing that's a great accelerator in general when you're leveling is getting max rank food. Oh, is it still up? Okay, there we go. Max rank food and water. So you get new ranks of food and water at 5, 15, 25, so on and so forth. And mages who are really trying to, you know, push it, they don't even drink their own water. I mean, they may if they just need a few, you know, if you're only 3-4 ticks away and it makes sense to get a few sips of water off, you're not going to use the expensive food. But when you really dump your mana, being able to sit down and indulge in some ice cold milk will move the needle significantly. So that's one tip you guys can take. Even in the starting zones, they oftentimes sell ice cold milk. Look how good ice cold milk is, dude. Shout out to ice cold milk. Dude, I want some ice cold milk right about now. I actually got ice cold milk in my coffee. You know, so what's the starting water compared to ice cold milk? Let me see the difference, man. It's probably massive, dude. What is it? Refreshing spring water, I think, is the first one, right? Refreshing spring water. 151.2 mana over 18 seconds versus 436.8 over 21 seconds. I'm no mathematician, but that is quite a difference. Infra, just got back from dinner and you're going over the best class, perfect timing. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, Infra. Infra, my man. Are you in it? Can you message me on Discord, Infra? It'd be nice to have a nice little direct link to a mage main here, so we can I can not put my foot in my mouth per usual. It's double. That's a big number, absolutely. All right, so getting ice cold milk in the starting zone. Save up, boys. Get this ice cold milk. Don't use it all the time. It's expensive. How much is it? 1 silver, 25 copper. Man, that's expensive. You can afford a little bit, maybe like 15, 20. You could afford it, but it will speed you up. Oh, hell yeah. Infra just messaged me. All right, Infra, my man. We're looking at these early pre-10 abilities for Mage. We're going deep. That's the name of the game. We're trying to go as deep as possible. If I miss anything, guys, let me know. So we're looking at Fireball, and let's look at the mage ability progression. Let's look it up. Okay, let's start there. See if you guys can see this on the stream. Okay, so this site isn't perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Vanilla WoW, fandom. Sometimes they miss some of the abilities, but more or less, you know, it's hard to find a real clean. Where's the freaking ability progression? Mage ability progression. Vanilla WoW. Okay. It's hard to find a real clean resource which it lists out all the abilities and when you obtain them. What does this add? No. Okay. So we're looking at 1 to 10 mage. You start off with Arcane Intellect. Well, actually you don't start off with Arcane Intellect. So did you guys know that you don't even get to level... You don't need to get to level 2 to buy certain abilities. So some abilities are available as soon as you pretty much log into the game. You can go to the trainer and train them right away. So you could train Arcane Intellect at 1. It only costs 10 copper. Probably not worth it to do so. Again, it doesn't... maybe experiment. Have you experimented with that? Like, someone test that out, man. Is it worth it? You know, kill like 2 boars and sell the stuff and buy Arcane Intellect? I don't assume so though. So you get Conjure Water at 4, and I assume this is Refreshing Spring Water. So at 5, you can pretty much go from, you know, 100 whatever mana over 18 to 400 whatever. It seems like a massive difference. All right, so let's check out Fireball and the stuff, dude. Okay. So you don't get any ranks, it appears, of... Oh, no, you do. Okay, you get Fire Blast at 6, and Fireball at 6. This is rank 2 Fireball, rank 1 Fire Blast. As far as Frost, you get Frostbolt at 4 and 8, so you get an additional rank of Frostbolt at 8. So oftentimes in the early game, like in these early levels, you're just gonna you may want to consider just using whatever the newest rank of spell is. So you might be going back and forth between Frostbolt and Fireball. Yes, Infra, we want to know about Fireball versus Frostbolt during the 1 to 10. Okay, just gotta type it out. Okay, TLDR, you're always gonna use the spell rank you just bought. Okay, I love this. Yo, Infra is a legend, dude. Infra is our resident expert mage right now. Okay. Pull this up. Put it in the PowerPoint, man. Okay. Alright, so for mage, this is the TLDR here. Levels 1 through 3, Fireball rank 1. 4 through 5, Frostbolt rank 1. 6 through 7, Fireball rank 2. Let's pull it up on this. You guys see that alright? Okay, sweet. Okay. Transparent. This is what we're looking at, boys. Levels 1 through 3, Fireball, rank 1. 4 through 5, Frostbolt, rank 1. 6 through 7, Fireball, rank 2. 8 through 11, Frostbolt, rank 2. 12 to 13, Fireball, rank 3. One thing I have to ask you, though, Infra, is Fire Blast. Fire Blast, the fact that you can get back to the 5-second rule faster, it seems like your rotation would incorporate Fire Blast, right? Mage, one of the fastest killers. See my spreadsheet? They do quite a lot of damage early. Yeah, it really, you'd be surprised, man. And I honestly, personally, I buy a staff, dude. I don't know if you buy a staff, Infra. There's like a 4 or 5 silver staff. You may not be able to afford it if you buy Ice Cold Milk. That's the thing. But the staff, you can buy from the weapon vendor. Let's see if I can find it. Some stuff might have... Use Fire Blast when the mob is low enough, but not too low because you would use your wand. Yeah, I mean, you may not have the wand until like 10, though, if you're on a fresh server, you know what I'm saying? Usually at around 10, that's when we were dual leveling, at least. We had enough cloth to craft it, maybe like 8 or so. When you have the wand, though, it is sick. Buying vendor weapons is sleeper OP for a lot of classes indeed. I'm right on the same page with you, Rotak. It's actually quite good. You wouldn't suspect that you'd want to... Oh, we got another Twitch Prime sub. Lay Key, subscribe to Twitch Prime. Welcome, my man. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription, my man. Welcome to the channel. You wouldn't suspect that a mage would buy a staff. My thinking right now, though, is you may not want to buy it if you're trying to buy ice cold milk. It might be one or the other. I don't know if you're going to be that baller at this level. I'm trying to find the staff, though. It would be... It's probably from the same vendors that sells, like, large axe. Let me see. Sells this. Sold by... Oh, that's weapon. That's, Westfall someone. Okay. Okay, here's the staff. Yeah. Walking stick. What do you guys think about walking stick? Level 3, you can buy this for 5 silver. Is that too much? When we were duo leveling, since our strategy incorporated one mage dumping mana, while another mage would be swinging, like another mage would be actually getting value from their swing timer, and then you'd switch. Then the next mob, the other mage would dump mana while the other guy is recovering, smacking him with the stick. This was good during that strategy, but I don't think you're going to have enough to buy both walking stick and ice cold milk. So this is your real first consideration, I'd say, as a mage, what you want to do with this. Infra's also saying he doesn't know if the enchanting wand is worth it. I do think it's worth it, man. Especially if you're duo leveling, you get it way faster. I don't know. It makes a big difference in my mind. Might as well use the water. Buddy, you're looking like the color of Mountain Dew. I got some new lighting, yeah, man. I don't know. It's it could be a little scuffed, but thanks for the feedback. Let me check my spreadsheet for the quest reward staff at level 4. Oh, I guess depending on where you're at, there's different quest rewards. That's going to be a factor. See, there's so much like min-max you can go into it. Like, you know, depending on what race you are, what starting zone, you know, could have different quests with different quest rewards. So yeah, if there's a level 4 upgrade to a staff, might be worth it to not get this. You see drilling over Duo Mage again? Indeed. I love me some Duo Mage. Also, this wooden mallet right here. Yo, guys, wooden mallet, though. 5.0 DPS. It's expensive, though. 7 silver. This is really good for Paladins and Tauren Warriors. But yeah, some of these early weapons, man. Worth getting. I think Large Axe, as a warrior, definitely get Large Axe. It's cheap. The bow, too. Where's the bow at, man, for Hunter? And we'll get to Hunter later, though. Don't buy the staff? Yeah. All right, so let me go back to the PowerPoint. All right. All right, so 1 to 10. These are 1 to 10 considerations here. Consider buying the staff or ice cold milk. Here's the potential spells you're going to be using, and I do think Fire Blast felt super worth it, man. See, the thing about Fire Blast being an instant cast, what is the cast time on like a Fireball or a Frostbolt? Early rank Fireball is 2-second cast, so that's 1 full tick. See what I'm saying? I think you tick at this level. Can you see this? Oh shoot, man. Okay, let me toggle it off. Okay, you can see this, right? So rank 2 Fireball is a 2-second cast. I think at this level, you tick for something like 20-25 mana. There's your spirit ticks. So, you know, Fireball, you know, if you use Fire Blast versus Fireball, let's compare it. Let's compare it. Rank 1 Fire Blast. It costs 40 mana, but you get that value immediately, and you can put it right off the back end of that casted spell. So you're pretty much discounting the mana cost of Fire Blast by like potentially 20 or 25, depending on how much you're ticking for. So instead of 40 mana, this is more like, you know, 15 mana or whatever. Kargoz, instead of ever consider instead of a chat log looking like the quest log, make it look like general chat or something? That would be cool, man. I don't know how to do that, but I'm pretty happy with the quest logs. You can see the text pretty clearly and stuff. Oh, dude, new member. Who did it? Joshua Ward, my friend. You're my friend. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Welcome. Wand vendor in Stormwind. You can't buy a wand, like a white wand, until like the teens for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but for some reason you can't just buy a crafted wand for a while. I think it's 13 when you can buy your first wand. That's just a very strange... Oh, it's 16. Pretty sure this is the earliest wand. Gloom wand. It's not even that good, man. Level 16. It's a very strange thing. Oh, Smoldering Wand. Here we go. This is it. So level 15, you can buy a wand from a vendor. But at that point, you should already have greater. You should have already had lesser. You chose Warlock? Indeed, yep. Well, you guys helped me choose Warlock. Sorry, let me reload. Iced coffee number 2 out of 3. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? Instant casts are good in the sense that this is one way of thinking about instant casts. Instant casts, if you just purely look at the damage per mana efficiency on the instant cast, it may not blow you away, but you have to realize that using it gets you back to that outside the 5-second rule mana regen faster than a cast, right? So people like will maybe make fun of Pyroblast, or let's look at Pyroblast and look at the cast time. Let's look at Pyroblast, friggin' 6-second cast time, dude. This is 3 ticks of freaking mana regen. So this is, it's actually one of the cheapest spells, man. If you're casting this and you already have a chunk of mana missing, this ends up being one of the cheapest spells because you're getting 3 ticks of regen from it. It's just an interesting thing to think about. So instant casts are really valuable in that sense. Casts are a little bit less valuable, and channeleds are generally kind of the worst because you're not going to start working towards that 5-second rule regen again until after the channel is finished. Sup, Kargoz? Glad to see the stream today. Hell yeah, man, dude. Yes, I'm playing Lock now. Yup. Yep, we're going Lock, boys. We're going to be a shadow boy. Kargoz, how long does it take to get attuned to level 5 where they can do professions for your main? I used to think Warlock was the fastest class to 5. I don't think so anymore. The Imp Quest is actually pretty hard to do immediately. The mobs are pretty high level. And Shadow Bolt, the damage per mana efficiency on like rank 1, rank 2 Shadow... It's really rank 1, is quite bad. It's pretty much the worst cast at the very, very low level. So I'm thinking that the fastest class to 5... What do you guys think 1 to 5? That would be your bank alt, right? If you wanted to race a bank alt up to 5. Mage is up there for sure, dude. Mage would be alright. Warrior's pretty quick too. In the early levels, it feels really quick. Zamaster, wow, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Are there any good crafted wands? Yes, my man, there's some crafted wands right here. Of course, man. Of course, you can do this by yourself. As soon as you get enough linen cloth, you can just make this yourself. That's all it is. Just, you need a certain amount of linen cloth, about 58 to 65, and then you can go, you just need enchanting and tailoring. Do you think skinning is worth it? Since each skin takes an additional 3 seconds. And you could just use that extra time to kill more mobs. Potentially Toxic. I think skinning is worth it, man. Because most classes do need some supplementary income. You're already killing these things, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to potentially get to a high enough level once you get to 60, and you'll be able to skin Devil Sores. It's good supplemental income. You just sell it to the vendor. And sometimes, honestly, the way in practice, when you skin something after you kill, like, sometimes all you need is that skin to get a couple ticks of regen, and then you're good to go. You don't have to eat or anything, as opposed to being in somewhat of like an awkward state where, you know, you don't know if you should eat or drink because you're at like 65% or something, you know what I mean? And then you decide to engage anyway. Sometimes that 3 seconds can actually feel pretty natural. Get you back in the fight. It's also important to note the damage type of the wand. Oh, that's a good thing to talk about. Some do fire, some arcane. Was that normalized though? I don't know. I'm actually a little bit iffy with this. What do you guys think about wands? Do they actually do that damage? Because I don't know if they're buffed. I don't know if they're buffed by talents and stuff like that. Like if you're doing shadow damage with a wand, does it get buffed by talents? I don't know. They may all do the same type of damage, like wand damage, physical damage. That could be a private server thing, though. Aries66. Yo, what's up, Kargoz? I'm doing good, man. How are you? How are you today? I'm doing good. Yeah, I think Warlock Shadowbolt is bad. Try Druid Wrath. Let's compare. So yeah, the initial rank of Shadowbolt, rank 1, is pretty trash. So I used to think that 1 to 5 Warlocks would be the fastest because they get an Imp, right? You get an Imp. I don't think that way anymore. So it's 1.7 cast for 12 to 17 versus, let's look at Wrath. 12 to 15 for 1.5 second cast, 20 mana. Seems about the same, actually. 20 mana, so let's say it's 13 on average. 13 damage for 20 mana, 1.5 second cast. Versus like probably 14 damage on average for 25 mana, 1.7. It's not that bad. Wrath doesn't seem that good either. I mean, let's look at like Fireball though. Fireball is probably the nuts. Fireball rank 1, 14 to 23 damage and an additional 2 over 4 seconds. And then you get another rank early, 31 to 46. Yeah, mages might be the fastest 1 to 5, real talk. They might be. Okay, what did you guys think about Wand? Getting a Fire Wand as a Frost Spec is not worth it. They are buffed by talents. Is that confirmed? Wand, the Wand damage type is buffed by talents? If you're going Warlock, you won't be able to grab Epic Mount till phase 2. That is correct. Yes, you need Dire Maul to be out. Fernando, what's up, dude? Are you planning on updating your guides after Classic goes live? Yes, I'm going to do a V3 round of leveling guides. I just need a little bit of confirmation on stuff, come a beta or alpha or whatever, and then I'm going to put out, and they're going to be really good. Druid's Wrath at low level costs like half mana. It does feel that way, right? I'm pretty sure you guys ever, I mean, you level a Tauren Druid, can you cast like 1 Wrath before you can't even cast 2 Wrath or something like that when you first start? It's kind of insane. Or maybe you can cast 2. It felt really clunky on the very first levels. Kilgore, what's up, dude? What's up, man? Thanks for making my workday less lame. No problem, man. Thank you for the kind words. We're just doing some deep digging into the classes, coming up with a launch plan. All right. So, where do we go from here? We gotta think. So mage, pretty quick, 1 to 10. If you're a mage, this is what I would say. I would get the Ice Cold Milk, and I would play aggressive. I wouldn't try and tick back up to full mana. You know, like sometimes in later levels, if you're doing single target sustained grinding, you want to end the mob. You want to kill the mob and be already regenerating with wand hits and stuff. Because you don't have a wand, 1 to 10 as a mage, just kill the damn thing and go right into drinking. And even if it's just refreshing spring water, go buy extra refreshing spring water and just dump all your mana, go right into the sit, and just commit to that line of play. Yeah, so buying the staff, buying the Ice Cold Milk, craft your wand ASAP. Next thing I would say with mage. Okay, let's see if we can skip any talents. See if we can skip any talents for mage. Okay, zoom in here too. But what are we skipping here? Not skipping anything in Frost. Fireball. Yeah, there's not much to skip as far as these early talents. Let me say Arcane. You might be able to skip Arcane Missiles. What do you think, Infra? Would you skip Arcane Missiles training it? It's 2 silver. You save yourself 2 silver. You skip the Arcane Missiles. I would definitely get Polymorph. Conjure Water at 10 and 12. Maybe you don't get Conjure Water at 10 and 12. You could go back and get it a little bit later when you have the money. Maybe you could use that for more stacks of Ice Cold Milk. Let's see what these even do for you. 100 fresh water. 100 fresh water. How much does this heal for? Okay, Conjured Fresh Water is Ice Cold Milk pretty much. I know it's not the best, but I'd always run at 5 to the main city and get professions. Yeah, you could do that. Some if you really are dying to get a profession, like even stuff like herbalism or something like that. Sometimes you're not able to pick up herbalism or mining in like the secondary towns. So if you're really gung ho about that and you want to get, you know, your gathering profession off to a good start, I could see that. Kargoz, is it worth it to level First Aid and Mage towards the start? I would go for the wand to start for sure, man. Go for the wand, but I do think it's still worthwhile picking up First Aid in general. Pretty much every class can make use of it, man. Like, even classes that can heal. Use the bandage. It's outside the 5-second rule. Like, you're going to be able to regenerate in all that time. You know? I'm thinking, is there a class that doesn't benefit from band-aids? I don't think so. I can't think of anything. Right? It just seems good to train First Aid. If you can do it. Conjure Water is the same as Ice Cold Milk. Yep, you're right. Paladin 1 through 5 doesn't drink or eat. The melee damage is good at start. And Judgment of your first seal hits mobs in the starting area for like 60%. Yeah. It's something you just have to feel out, right? Like you always just have to... This is one thing I always say, right? You always want to be constantly refining that combat efficiency. Turn it into a little mini game. You know what I mean? Like, try and find, as the situation dictates, whether you should be spending lots of mana, front-loading it, doing whatever. But yeah, in 1 to 5, if it feels like you have the mana to spare, use the damn mana. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see what we're gonna skip in general as far as mages. Polymorph you need, Conjure Water you need, Dampen Magic. You could skip Dampen Magic. Save yourself 6 silver. Yeah, I'd probably skip Dampen Magic. Maybe not, dude. There are gonna be some casters, right? Nah, Dampen Magic might be good, dude. What do you guys think about Dampen Magic? Do you skip it? Definitely skip Slowfall. If you were leveling solo and you were gonna duo level with another mage, maybe skip Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion is still kind of useful though, in the sense that sometimes you just need that little instant cast damage. Man, it's tough. What do you think, Enfra, if you're still here? Oh, you linked the guide telling us what to skip. All right, let's take a look at Infra's guide. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. All right. PowerPoint activated. All right, let's take a look at Infra's guide. All right, there we go. Mage and Classic WoW leveling spells. Man, you put some work in here, Infra. This is super visual, dude. Conjure Water, Frostbolt, Conjure Food. So the stuff that's highlighted, do you skip these? Not sure how to read this, dog. Okay, so the ones in red, here we go. So he does skip Arcane Missiles. Slowfall, he does skip Slowfall. Skips Arcane Missiles, Detect Magic, and Flame Strike. I got it. Amplify Magic, he skips that. Arcane Missiles, Flame Strike. Is it cool if I share this in the chat, Infra? It's cool, right? I'll drop this in here for you mage players, man. This is some good stuff right now. He put some time into this. Alright, here you go, mage players. Here you go. You're playing mage. Enjoy. Enjoy. Infra put that work in. Alright. Well, that settles that. Let's go back and see what we need to do, what we need to accomplish here. Okay, so ability progression, we've been working on that. Leveling route. That's going to be subjective based on... I mean, the way you complete the starting zones, I have to say, is going to differ on what class you are. There's class-related quests, also the type of damage you're dealing. Like a hunter doesn't have to worry about attacking stuff that's a couple levels higher than them. It's the nature of ranged physical damage. You know, it's not a big deal. Whereas a caster, you have to be really sensitive to that. If you're killing something that's 1-2 levels above you, man, dude, you can get some serious resist going on and really slow you down a lot. So that's one thing I will say. Talent progression. We could talk about talents again. Updated talents. Infra and I disagree on some of this stuff with the talents, but it's all good. Okay, talents. Here is the order of operations if I was soloing as a mage. Would go Elemental Precision, 3 out of 3, get that hit chance. 2 into Improve Frostbolt. 2 into Nova. Then Permafrost, 3 out of 3. Cold Snap. 2 out of 3 Blizzard, and then I would start AoE grinding. I know Infra doesn't like the AoE grinding strat, but I think the reason why you get 2 out of 3 Blizzard, right, too, is that if you get 3 out of 3 Blizzard, it will overwrite your Cone of Cold slow, right? So 2 out of 3 brings it right below that point. Cone of Cold is 50%. 50% slow on Cone of Cold. And this is 50% as well, so it doesn't overwrite it. If you put one more point into this, it would overwrite it. Interesting. What's up, my dudes? What's poppin'? Hey, Soran, what's up, man? How you doing? I'd start with Blizzard and AoE grind at 22. Yep, that's what I'm thinking as well. 21, 2 out of 3, and Cold Snap. You could do it at 21, though, man. This is all you need, right? It'd be nice to have Cold Snap just in case as insurance, but I think you're really golden here. 2 out of 3 Blizzard. Start. Go to the Knolls and Wetlands. You can go to Westfall, too, if you want. They'd be getting pretty green to you, though. Do you know if there are any spell guides like this one infra-shared for other classes? Could use a warrior one? Yeah, there's some people out there doing some classic WoW prep, man. You can ask around for you, Hans. A lot of people going warrior. AoE grind Knolls and Westfall. That's the thing, though. They're a little bit low by the point you get all these. The Knolls and Westfall are like, what, 17, 18? And you're going to be like 22 at this point, or like 21. They'd be okay. But one thing that we've talked about a lot on the channel is that if you get penalized a lot in the early levels, you get penalized a ton for killing mobs that are lower level than you. As you get higher and higher up, the penalty isn't so much. Like once you're into the 50s, it's hardly a penalty. You're still getting maybe like 91% or something like that. But in the early levels, it's a massive drop off. But on the same note, you always have to, that's a big thing with casters, right? Could you agree with this, Infra? Especially in the starting zone or in the early levels, you don't want to target something that's too high above you, man. Like, I would just try and kill stuff that's the same level, maybe 1 level above you. Once you get to that 2 levels above you, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go through your rotation, it's still going to be alive, and you're going to be meleeing it, waiting for your mana to tick back up, and then you're going to finish it off in like some sloppy way with another 2 spells. You will have taken damage, you will have gotten a bunch of resists, you will be meleeing for like nothing at that point. Not worth it. Even if it means running a few extra seconds to find a mob that's of equal level or just 1 level higher than you, it is worth it, at least IMO. Unless it's like an absolutely necessary quest mob or something like that. AoE grinding may be okay depending on how they do sharding. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, as long as you don't take this talent as a mage right here with Frostbite, as long as you don't take this, you're going to be good to AoE grind. This is just the nightmare talent where it's going to be proccing off your freaking armor, it's going to be proccing off your slows, you know, your blizzard and stuff like that, and it's gonna make it a clown fiesta. How many servers are they going to have? Because I doubt it'll be enough. I'm a little bit scared of that too, man. I think Blizzard's gonna have too few servers. Oh, Discord PMs, what do you say? It's not that you don't like AoE leveling, it's just that odds are you won't be able to do it at launch. By the way, I have a tab on my guide which covers the talents mages need for leveling, PvE. Mouse over the talent icon for more info. Okay, let me go back to it, man. So you have leveling spells, spell DPM. Oh, I love this, dude. This just tickles my fancy info. Look at this. Look at this. So this is DPME for all mage spells. God, man, you're like a designer, Infra. This stuff looks good. Thing is, though, right? Like the instant cast, you know, there's like a hidden benefit to using the instant cast. So like you may not be blown away, swept off your feet by the damage per mana efficiency of like Fire Blast or something, but it's instant, man. Like you get to work your way towards that 5-second roll regen faster. So let's compare Fireball and let's compare Fireball and Frostbolt. All right, 0.67, 0.91, 1.06. So they both reach the 1 for 1 breakpoint at like rank 3. Frostbolt's actually more damage per mana efficient. What is this, a range though? What is the second value here next to it? Is this with talents? I'm assuming this is with talents. Okay. Interesting. One thing that I find very interesting though is that Scorch seems to have a very good damage per mana efficiency. I don't know if it beats out. Yeah, okay, so higher ranks of Frostbolt even beat it out though, especially when you're talented into it. But Scorch has really good damage per mana efficiency. I think it'd be fun to level as fire. Try that out. Blizzard won't have too few servers. If anything, they won't have enough spun up at launch and will add extras as they need based on demand. I'm worried about that, man. I feel like there's not going to be enough servers. What do you think about having servers with 4 to 5k cap with like 150 to 200 servers? 4 to 5k cap would be a little bit higher than I would like. 4 to 5k cap? I'd want the smaller the better, to be honest. Maybe 2,500 or 3k, but 4 or 5k, it'd be all right. It'd be similar to what the private servers are like, though. I'll tell you right now, like, because that's what the population is on Voldemort. Could you go over talents leveling as fire? Yeah, we could really quick. Fire is interesting. I mean, you're not going to be AoE grinding as fire. You kind of could though if you were duo leveling. If you were duo leveling, you could AoE grind with a partner as fire. You could get stuff like Blast Wave and Stack Combustion. So if you were going fire leveling, you go improve fireball. Man, improve fire blast looks pretty juicy. Reducing the cooldown. I'd have to play around with this, bro. Honestly, fire could be interesting though. It's something I haven't messed with too much, so I won't get into it now. But maybe we can do that for another stream. Mage was my first level 40+ character. I leveled as pure arcane because we were all dumb in 04. We were all dumb in 04, man. It's all good. Can you share the map of Azeroth? Oh, yeah, I can show you this, guys. We'll be talking about this. I want to talk about grind spots and stuff, too. Look how beautiful this looks. We got a big announcement for you guys later this week. I'll tease you with this. Check this out. This is a little teaser. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Watch me go satellite imagery on you. I'm like Google Maps right now. Look, watch. Beautiful. Let me go to another one. Let's go Barrens. You guys ever saw satellite imagery of the Barrens? That is cool, man. According to a spreadsheet, 20 to 30 is 72% XP gain from -3, and from 30 to 40 it's 75% XP gain, which is nice. You're talking about the mob value one where that Navik put together, Alexander? That sounds about right, yeah. Irish in the house, what's up, dude? Airborne Rangers lead the way, indeed. Indeed. Yep. Okay, Infra, man. So this is pretty cool. That link for the mage players, man, it's in the chat. Go check this out. This is going to help you prep for Classic for sure. Let's see what else we need to cover with regard to mage. Okay. Talent progression. So we kind of went over that, right? You'd pretty much go... Yeah, we kind of went over it. We kind of went over it. Weapon training. You have to train anything as a mage? Like, you already start with the ability to have wands and staffs, right? You probably don't need to train anything. No need. That's, I think, probably a non-factor. Weapon progression. So, wand progression. Wand progression for mages would be... Oh, this is actually very juicy. So, it would go... Actually, it's not that juicy for mages. If you're AoE grinding, like, yeah, the wand still matters. Like, someone may be a straggler running off in another direction, you finish them off with the wand or something. But if you really are AoE grinding as a mage, you're not going to be using the wand too much. So it would be lesser magic wand, greater magic wand, probably Gravestone Scepter after that, but you probably don't even need to. Honestly, wand progression as a mage, do you really need to keep your wands upgraded? You could, but I would just AoE grind, man. And this is the thing about AoE grinding. So AoE grinding, oh, we got a new Twitch Prime sub. Zargoth TV, subscribe to Twitch Prime. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you very much for your support. Here's the thing about AoE grinding. The win condition is you gather up a bunch of mobs, you know, you control them with Cone of Cold or Nova or whatever, Blizzard, whatever, you kill them, and you're not front loading anything. Like, you're not really getting much value out of Spirit. I don't think mages have any talents that have, you know, benefit from Spirit. So even though they're a caster, you might suspect that they would get a lot of benefit from Spirit. And if your playstyle for whatever reason of a mage was to front load some Frostbolts and then finish it off with a wand, you could get some value from Spirit. But I don't think Spirit is very good on a mage. Because that AoE win condition, you require certain amounts of mana, dude. I would stack Intellect if I was a mage. Spirit would be kind of a non-factor. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but having the critical amount of mana to be able to cast enough spells, enough blizzards or whatever to take out the mobs, that's going to be the most important thing. Ikuna says, Sup Kargoz, I've been watching your videos for a while now. Going to be fun to go at Vanilla WoW with real-ass adult brains. Oh, I feel you, man. We're going to have more fun this time around. Spirit is useless when AoE grinding correct. You're stacking int and stam. Makes sense. So, while we were talking about Spirit yesterday and the value of Spirit on stream, it's actually a very underrated stat overall. Let's look through what classes benefit from Spirit. Paladin could benefit from Spirit. This is why Spirit's good. It affects your regen. It affects how fast you replenish resources. Intellect and stamina, they don't. They're just raw health and raw mana. So, the AoE grinding win condition is unique in the sense that you don't stagger, you don't front load, you don't do any of that stuff. You kill stuff in a big sweep and then you drink. But Paladins could potentially benefit from... Actually, if you're AoE grinding as a Paladin, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, yeah. Because it's the same thing. If you're AoE grinding as a Paladin, what you do is you just stack Stamina and Intellect. You just want to have enough mana to cast enough Consecrates. Your attack power, all that doesn't matter, man. If you're AoE grinding as a paladin, you just hit like a little... You just hit for like so little, but you're trying to kill people with reflect damage, so you're just trying to pick up enough int and stam to get the job done. Druid definitely benefits from Spirit. Big time. You know why Druids benefit from Spirit? Because they're going into form. And they also have talents that benefit from Spirit as well. But by the fact that they go into form and shapeshift, that whole time when they're in form, they're getting Spirit-based mana regeneration. You know what I mean? The abilities they use, even though they're abilities in the forms, they're not costing mana in those forms. So Druids benefit big time from Spirit. Hunters benefit from Spirit. Definitely benefit from Spirit. Yeah, we haven't gotten into the other classes. I was just digressing a little bit. Where are we at with Mage? So yeah, weapon training is a non-factor. Weapon progression is a non-factor too. We're making some progress here. Like, if you're going to AoE grind as a mage, if that's what you're committing to, you're going to try hard, I don't think it's worth it to get a Gravestone Scepter. If you're going to Priest, if you're going to Warlock, absolutely. Go get it. And go partner up with people that also need it. But as a mage, I don't know if you need some badass wand and keeping it up to date. Pet progression doesn't apply. Professions as a mage. Anybody have any thoughts on professions as a mage? I'd just go Enchanting Tailoring to get the wand ASAP. You can keep that going. You can drop and get something else, but those are the ones that stick out to me. Now, if you're leveling, like, there's only going to be one launch of a server, right? So if you're leveling a little bit after and you can just send a wand to your mage alt, or if you can buy a wand from someone on the cheap, then that opens up possibilities as well. You could get skinning. You could get... mages aren't too costly, right? I mean, what are they really buying, man? Like, they don't have grimoires for their pets. They don't have to have pet training, right? It seems like they're pretty cost-efficient class, man. They're making their own food and water if they have to. You know, ideally, you're going to be buying max rank water, which could be costly. That might be the big pain point for mages. Is that a pain point, Infra? Anybody who's leveled a mage, buying enough of the max rank water? Because you guys have to realize that if you're trying to go fast, you're buying max rank water as soon as it becomes available to you. 15, 25, 35. Maybe that's really costly. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the biggest gold sink. And you have to buy your mount straight up at 40. So, yeah, you don't buy anything really. You just bite the bullet and grind. Makes sense. You can go Herbalism Alchemy. You could do that. WoW Classic spending spree. Gaming chair. 300 keyboard, 170 mouse, 80. Need the perfect gaming conditions. Did you just buy that, Muzz? Congrats, man. We love our hardware, man. Getting new hardware, one of the best feelings, dude. People falling asleep, so can we get some chat hype? Tankerino 66, my man, dude. Thank you for the hype. Here we go. Here's some hype. Here's some hype spam. All right. Okay, so yeah, I think weapon progression kind of a non-factor. Weapon training non-factor. Pet progression non-factor. Professions kind of a non-factor. I'm thinking though, maybe skinning could be valuable. So mages, right? Let me think of the AoE grinding spots. There's some AoE grinding spots that have beasts. But not most of them. Like you go, I mean, maybe like the spiders in Swamp of Sorrows, the fire rocks in Tannerus. There's some spots with beasts, but I don't know. Nothing sticks out tremendously, man. Maybe just go Enchanting Tailoring. Hey, Kargoz or chat, just curious what professions you would go for a hunter on a PvP server. So I've leveled my fair share of hunters, man. I just like going skinning, getting first aid. The rest is up to you, man. Skinning works really well with the hunters. Tailoring for mages. Yeah, tailoring would be good, man. I don't know. It seems, it's now that I'm thinking about it, you might think about on first glance that maybe mages are squishy. Maybe they need to buy a lot of stuff. They seem like one of the most gear-independent classes, man, while leveling at least. They really do. Alright. So mount saving strategy. I think they make a lot of gold too, man. If they're just killing all these mobs non-stop. They're killing like freaking 10, 12 mobs at a time. I don't know if gold's going to be an issue for them either. They have high mobility with teleport and blink and I don't know. Seems good. Let's move on to the next one, guys. We can come back to it if you guys have questions. Can you link that interactive map, dude? You're going to get access to it soon this week. We're going to be doing a nice big announcement in the coming days. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I hope you can get that big map. Absolutely. Let me go back to it. I just want to look at it again. It looks so nice. Let's look at that map again. I want to frame this. I would love, as you can see, I got a lot of stuff hung up on my wall. How sick would this be? Not the satellite one. I kind of like it better without. But imagine this, like super high res framed. That would be super, super nice looking. Hunter skinning mining. Skinning mining's a pretty good one, yeah. Just the stuff that you mine retains its value really well. Does the 5% really factor in with AoE grinding when you're usually overkilling everything? What 5%? What's 5%? Kargoz, how is leveling cooking worth it while you go? Actually, it's not bad. That's one thing that I kind of pivoted on as well. It's another thing to consider. Like, as you're just going about your day, killing a lot of beasts, you're going to get a lot of meat, dude. And as soon as you get, like, 53 board meat or whatever in Valley of Trials, you can max your cooking to 75. And some foods are quite good. Like this scorpid food. What is it called? Scorpid pie or something? You can craft this pretty quick. Scorpid something, dude. Scorpid surprise. Here we go. So there's no real level requirement for this. You can craft this real quick. As soon as you get 60 cooking, you can craft this. 294 damage over 21 seconds. No level requirement. As opposed to what? Tough jerky? Is it beef jerky? 294 compared to 61.2. Like, in this duo leveling guide that my man Navik made, like, he has people actually do cooking. And, you know, between both of you getting additional resources duo leveling just accelerates professions in general. It's another thing. If you like professions, you like indulging and making crafting stuff as you go, that's another big strength of duo leveling. But you can start crafting the Scorpion Surprise, and that'll be super good for you as a warrior. But cooking doesn't take too much time out of your day as long as you know what you need. So it would be cool if someone made a cooking guide and they laid out everything you need to level up your cooking, so you don't have to go out of your way to level up, but you just hang on to the stuff that you know you're gonna need, like the Scorpion Stingers or whatever. Like you probably wouldn't know to hang on to this, right? Does anybody hang on to this? I used to not until recently, but hang on to your Scorpion Stingers, man. Just throw them in your bank alt or whatever. You use them for cooking later. Engineering is good for hunters. Yeah, engineering is great for hunters, but not while leveling. It'd be pretty much impossible to level up engineering as you go. All right, Diabetic Gamer James. Hi, Kargoz. Just trying to refine my leveling as a druid, and I got 1 to 20 down into around 9 hours. That's pretty good, man. After getting Feline Swiftness, would you go straight for natural weapons and Omen of Clarity in the Feral Tree? I love these questions. Diabetic Gamer James. My name is James, too. Nice to meet you. I love these questions. This is... If you guys ask more questions like this, that would be really good, because that's really helpful stuff. All right. So 1 to 20 in around 9 hours. After getting Feline Swiftness... would you go straight for natural weapons and Omen of Clarity in the Feral Tree? So this is how I would go 1 to 20 on a druid real quick. Okay, I would probably consider going balanced to start and getting Omen of Clarity and respecking at 21 to get Feline Swiftness. So you can get a little bit of levels of Omen of Clarity value. You can still have Nature's Grasp, which can save you. The natural weapons flat 10% damage increase. You may want to consider a tactical respec and then respec in at 21. But you could go this route as well. So let's Feline Swiftness, you're 21. Yeah, I'd probably go Omen of Clarity. Omen of Clarity is a really big game changer, especially if you're in cat form. So Omen of Clarity is normalized around your auto attacks, right? But using those abilities like Claw and stuff like that can also proc Omen of Clarity. So whether it's Claw or Rake or whatever, it gives you additional chances to proc this, and it's really good in cat form. So I would definitely beeline it down here. Yes, if that answers your question, my man. Okay. Okay, what am I missing? Oh, absolutely, Omen of Clarity is bomb as fuck. I love Omen of Clarity, dude. It feels good. Clear casting in this game just feels incredible when you hear that little ding. I don't think I'll give it Omen of Clarity, though. Just start putting points into Feral after. I mean, I don't know, though, kill. If you're duo leveling, I could see that kill. Because the thing is, you're only going to be as fast as your weakest link, right? If you're with a Warlock, it definitely devalues Feline Swiftness. But if you're solo, moving around at a flat 30% faster, both in combat and out of combat, you can't beat that, dude. That's just too good. That is just too good. I think we covered Mage sufficiently, though, right? What are we missing here? Professions, mount saving. Final questions. If you guys have questions about Mage, this is what I'm saying, though. I probably missed some stuff. If you have any questions, 1 to 10, 1 to 20, 1 to 30. The general game plan, 1 to 10, you're going to be moving pretty quick. Buy that ice cold milk. Just go for the win condition of bursting them down and going right into the milk. Don't try and cast 2 and melee them down so that your mana's back up again. It ticks in big chunks as well, and you hit for like a potato. So just commit, kill them with spells, go right into the drink. Hard charge right into that ice cold milk. And then once you get to level 21 or 22, you can start AoE grinding with 2 out of 3 Blizzard. Leveling as fire, it's definitely possible. Yeah, like you could level as fire. Leveling as fire becomes a lot more interesting. Again, another amazing strength of dual leveling. Imagine if you really you want to dual level and you want to play with your friends, but your friend is playing a warrior. What if your friend is playing a warrior? He doesn't have access for a while to the AoE damage, cleave damage, or a rogue would be even a more crazy example. A rogue, like warriors will eventually at least get sweeping strikes, whirlwind, cleave, all that. But imagine it's like a druid or a class that doesn't have access to AoE damage. So going fire, going arcane becomes much more attractive in that situation because you're kind of writing off your AoE damage win condition. Fire leveling on mage is great. We're missing the fact that you were about to check out my talent section on my mage guide. Okay, we can check it out, my man. Check it out. Infra's talent section. Okay, talents. He says optimal as fuck. I love the confidence. This is beautiful. Can I just say, Infra, you did a good job, dude. Wow. You know your way around a friggin' Excel sheet. This looks great. Okay, single target leveling build, AoE leveling build. This is an incredible resource. So you're going elemental precision 2 out of 3. Frostbolt 3 out of 5. Interesting. Okay, I know what you're doing there, though. I know what you're doing there, right? Because you're not really killing stuff that's 3 levels higher anyway, right? So, what is it? With 4%, you're able to get hit cap against mobs 1 level higher than you. Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1 level higher than you. 2, I think 2 requires 5%. 2 levels higher than you. I see what you mean, though. Yeah, you don't need that 3rd point till later. I do the same thing with Warlock. I get 2 out of 5 suppression. I see what you did there. 3 out of 5 Frostbolt. Ah, dude, you're getting this talent, man. Frostbite. This talent makes me sad. Frostbite. Because you already have Nova anyway, I think it's better to choose Frostbite first. Okay, but it's the single target leveling build. Okay, I get you. I just don't see a line of play where you just limit your options. Even if you're going single target leveling build, just getting this limits your options, I feel. Like, as long as you have this talent, you can't AoE grind. So if an opportunity opens up to you, you know, even if you are in a packed server, you may see an opportunity to round up a couple mobs and AoE them down. You don't necessarily have this in your back pocket anymore. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan personally of Frostbite talent. But here's the AoE build. Permafrost before Imp Blizzard. Huh. So you get Piercing Ice instead of... Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, Ice Shard Blizzard can't crit, right? So you get this. Did you get Nova, or what did you get first? Nova, then Permafrost. Okay. Yep, Nova and Permafrost. We're on the same page there. Then 2 out of 3 Blizzard, 3 out of 3. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so you're not getting Cold Snap. So Infra's like, I'm not going to misplay. I don't need this Cold Snap. That's fired. You get Cold Snap after the 3 out of 3. I like it, dude. I like it. Yeah, if you're not going to misplay, what do you need Cold Snap for, right? So, okay, so you proceed through Frost, and then you go into Arcane, get clear casting. Makes sense to me, man. Makes sense. Blizzard can't crit. This is confirmed. Yep. Arcane Explosion can, though. Man, I love Arcane Explosion. One of the most satisfying abilities in the game. Real quick, to break it up a little bit, what's the most satisfying ability to use in the game, to your personal taste? We gotta get some engagement here. I can link it. I'll link it again in the chat. This is a really good resource for mage players. This is awesome, my guy. You did a great job, Infra. I will link it again, man. This is pretty comprehensive. So he doesn't only have silence. He has dungeon quests in here. Oh my god, this is useful, dude. You're listing out all the dungeon quest rewards? Yo, this is insane, Infra. I saw this before, but I didn't see it like this. He's listing all the good shit you can get from dungeons. And guaranteed quest rewards, too. I love it that you're putting guaranteed quest rewards. Because who cares about a drop, man? You're not going to get it. If it's a drop, you're not going to get it, man. You're not gonna get it. Get the guaranteed quest rewards. That is the juice. Oh no, Maragon. I don't even want to see that. You talk about Palm Pyro? Yeah, you can get Palm Pyro. Here, I'll put it in the chat one more time for you guys. If you're playing Mage, you might want to take a look at this, man. This is actually a really good resource. All the guaranteed quest rewards. That's what we look for. So he's got Crescent Staff in here for sure. Yeah, see, at this level too, like, let's say if you're a Horde Mage, I probably actually would do Wailing Caverns to pick this stuff up. To get a shot at Sizzle Stick. Sizzle Stick isn't guaranteed though, is it? I don't think Sizzle Stick is guaranteed. Isn't that a drop off the Fairy Dragon? Oh no, it is guaranteed. Oh my god, dude. That is sick. That is actually sick. And it's pretty much Greater Magic Wand damage. Greater Magic Wand is 17.5 damage per second. Sizzle Stick 17.6. Dude, that's pretty insane, actually. Have you gone over Hunter yet? No, we're still on Mage, man. We're gonna be here for a while, dude. Yeah, Crescent Staff. Yeah, I'm thinking Fire Belcher. Yeah, that's right, Kilgore. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, Greater Magic Wand, you can get it 13 on the dot, and if you're duo leveling, I'm super convinced you can absolutely get it by 13, which is insane. It is an incredible power spike. Getting this at 13 is the nuts. I will say it again, just because I think it's one of the most key takeaways I could explain. If you are duo leveling, and you're duo leveling with another wand user, you will just undoubtedly be killing more things. Your combat efficiency is increased, your power level is increased as a combined unit, and you will just kill more mobs in general to compensate for the 50% XP loss, right? This means more cloth, this means more meat, this means more skins, this means more everything. So you can take that cloth and funnel it to one mage who has tailoring enchanting, and they can craft those wands much quicker. And if the other mage goes like leatherworking skinning, for example, and gets value out of all the skins, he's going to have a whole nother set of greens to disenchant, where you can disenchant, get more crafting reagents, and get yourself much faster up to that Greater Magic Wand at 13. So good. So good. Someone should make a spreadsheet like that for each class. That's the plan, Stan, with the V3 leveling, guys. It's going to be focused on leveling, though. He actually goes into rating and everything too. Look, class buffs, consumables, enchants, stage 1, stage... Look, he's got it broken up by the stages. In for my guy. Putting in that work, man. Pre-bis through stages. Everything is broken down by stage. Wow. This is your turnkey mage solution right here. What a god. What a god. How rough is it to duo level yourself using 2 accounts? It wouldn't be too bad if you wanted to dual box. If you chose two classes that were not that APM intensive. I'm trying to think what that would be. I mean, I would like to have if you were to dual box, you'd probably have a healer as one of them, just in case, because you're bound to maybe fuck it up and pull too many or something. So being able to have those get out of jail free cards, like, you know, maybe a paladin would be good on the alliance side. You just get the constant value out of buffs and auras. He can pretty much act as a heal bot. So if character 1 kills everything, character 2 heals up, something like that. I have kind of made a guide like that for only dungeons for rogues. Oh, interesting, man. Yeah, message that to me. We can look over it. Hey, Kargoz, just joined. Apparently you talk about my main while I eat a super schnitzel with a beer. Bro, don't trigger me like that. You're eating a super... What's a super schnitzel? It sounds delicious. Is it more super than just a regular schnitzel? Dude, is schnitzel a hot dog? It's gotta be a hot dog, right? Warrior and healer, shaman or paladin. Yeah, paladin would be real good. Paladin's your little heal bot. Pally lock is best. 2 free mounts. I agree, man. Double warlock is the nuts too. People forget about double warlock. Hold up, 1 second. Be right back. 30 seconds. Alright, I'm back. His rep with German viewers went down. What? Did I say it wrong or something? Schnitzel. You know what I like about German food? You guys ever had this? Currywurst? Dude, currywurst is an invention. So can we all agree on going Boomkin and vanilla? Well, you think I'm trolling, man. If you dual level and you go balance, like deep balance, like you may not get, you know, Boomkin until much later, but you can level in a tier 1 capacity with balance. That's no joke. Level with a Warlock. Johnny Bravo, Kargoz, hope you read this. Warlocks are really good for dual leveling in the long run, since if things don't work out, you're still good to go as a self-sufficient pet class. Absolutely, Johnny Bravo. Warlocks are insane, man. They have potential to AoE, so they have that win condition available to them. They have the whole dotting win condition too, where you're just moving and dotting stuff up. They have an infinite value loop, which I'm a big fan of these with Curse of Exhaustion. Are there any insane area route optimizations that you can do with a mage slow fall? Huh. Like a big shortcut or something like that? I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. You ever think about that, Infra? Some kind of like slow fall shortcuts? I'm not sure. There might be some cool slow fall shortcuts. I mean, maybe like, you know, 1,000 needles. Do you move faster while you're slow falling? You probably do, right? Like imagine if you jumped off the Great Lift and slow fall towards 1,000 needles. That'd be kind of good. Would you recommend leveling in a 5-man group? I haven't really done a lot of research into it. I know some people swear by it though. It is a thing. 5-man leveling, especially like killing elites or killing like trolls and STV in like those really high mob density areas, like at the ruins. That is something that people do competitively. I have like 0 experience doing it though. Yeah, Boomkin with Lock must be crazy. It is really fun, man. I mean, people sleep on this spell. This is one of the most slept on spells. This one right here. This one. Probably only like 5% of you have ever casted this spell in vanilla. What do I usually get? Probably get this. Insect Swarm, dude. Insect Swarm's sweet. Druids actually have a couple dots. They have Insect Swarm, they have Moonfire, and they potentially have Entangling Roots. That's a dot. They got Insect Swarm. Yeah, you would Moonfire, Insect Swarm, Entangling Roots. But you don't have the globals. You don't have the time to cast the Entangling Roots, really. If you're with the Warlock, you pretty much just throw up 2 instant casts and you go right into melee, trying to get these Omen of Clarity procs. But Insect Swarm and Moonfire, man. It's nothing to laugh at. What route would you take as a gnome after 12 as a Warlock? Going duo with a Night Elf Druid. Okay, if you're going duo with the Druid, man, you might just want to meet him over there. You might want to do the reverse Wetlands run. Now, that's something that I'm speaking from not a lot of experience with, though. I mean, Darkshore is apparently like some of the best XP per hour as far as those secondary zones go. I personally, when I'm going super hard, I don't level there. But some of the best people who level, like Soyo and stuff like that, they always go Darkshore. They stay Darkshore like for so long. I'm always so shocked at how long they stay in that whole Darkshore area. So if you know the quest progression over in that Darkshore area, if you can do your homework right now and go look at how you're going to weave it all together, it'd probably make more sense for you to go to him in the Night Elf area as the gnome, as opposed to him coming to Loch Modan and going to Westfall. I love Westfall, don't get me wrong, but do you guys agree that Westfall is kind of a nightmare when it comes to leveling, dude? Having to collect all those different animal parts all over the place, it just feels really wonky leveling through Westfall. Was Defias leather armor in vanilla? Yeah. Black and Defias belt and stuff, right? That stuff's in there. Hydro 1978 subscribed with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you very much for the subscription. Are we sure Rogue Front Stab won't be available due to scripting? It's looking highly likely that it's not going to be in there. Not 100% confirmed yet. It'd be great to get another taste of the demo in a much less scuffed version than the demo. A beta rather than the demo. But it's looking highly likely it's not going to be there. But it's okay, because if you like that backstab dagger style of gameplay as a rogue, just duo level with someone. You're going to have a good time. Hey, Kargoz, I will duo level Warrior Priest. Is there anything special I have to do as a war? Do I have to skill Cleave? Yeah, honestly, Warrior Priest is a really good time, man. What you have to do. Okay, if you're playing Warrior Priest, you're going to make sure you don't want to kill the mob as the warrior. That's one main thing I would say to you. Because the priest is trying to get the killing blow, because he only gets the value from Spirit Tap if he gets the killing blow. So you're gonna like charge into mobs or pool rage, do whatever, cleave them down, but try and make sure that your bleeds are ticking off or they're gonna be really low and you're not gonna kill them. So the priest can get that spirit tap every time. That's your #1 priority as far as you know, sustain goes as a warrior. You also might want to consider going discipline, man, and forgoing shadow. Honestly, and getting like divine spirit and stacking spirit as a warrior. Spirit on a warrior is the nuts. Your priest could go shadow too, though. I mean, it's really up to playstyle, but I don't think it's bad for the warrior to go divine spirit and have all these discipline talents. You have a level 60 hunter guide for itemization builds. I do. Yeah, it's called the Hunter Field Manual. If you Google it, you'll. I mean, if you just search it on YouTube, Hunter Field Manual, it'll come up. It was like that guide I went too deep on. That was like 2 weeks straight of just no lifing working on that thing. Oh, you just sent the rogue guide thing? Oh, cool, man. You just sent it right now? And look at it when we get the rogue. All right, let's go to the next class. Not as comprehensive as I was hoping for, but that's okay. We can come back to mage if we can think of some more stuff. Just want to... Whoa. It is big right here. Okay. So let's take a look at this straw poll and see what was the second top choice. We had mage at #1, followed by warrior. Okay, let's do warrior next. Leveling a warrior, man. Warrior is the class. It's a class that there's a massive disparity between good players and bad players with warrior. There's a lot of stuff to think about as a warrior. Some recent revelations. This is really juicy stuff. I don't think I've ever said this on stream before. But one thing that's a very underrated warrior ability while leveling is Demo Shout. Demo Shout is good, guys, and it slots in really naturally as you're going about your rotation as a warrior. So like, let's say you charge in, right? You hit him with that initial swing, and then you apply a hamstring, and then you're strafing back out of the hitbox. As you're strafing back out, you have enough rage to throw in a Demo Shout. And Demo Shout will reduce their damage pretty significantly, and then improve Demo Shout even more so. But it's something that you probably want to use Demo Shout over Thunderclap pretty much almost always. Demo Shout's really, really nice while leveling. And if you hamstring kite and you Demo Shout, you're doing everything you can do to really mitigate that damage. And it feels pretty natural. What about the mount saving? I was going to talk about the Gibson, but I don't know if it may just have a problem saving for mounts. Like, you're AoE grinding, killing like 10, 12 things at a time. Like, that is... You're going to have a lot of resources, man. For warrior leveling professions, what would you take? Mining and skinning? As a warrior? Solo leveling as a warrior? Probably skinning mining or something like that. Yeah. I would get skinning for sure. Anything you can do to supplement your income as a warrior. And skinning is a very consistent way to do so. Also, just getting a few extra ticks outside of combat while still being productive to help regen a little bit is going to save you as well. Also, cooking. Out of all the classes, I think cooking is probably most advantageous for a warrior. I mean, if you had the bankroll to just buy max rank food all the time, by all means do it. But being able to turn that meat into some sort of food to a benefit to you, it doesn't... If you really know what you're doing going into the leveling process, and you know how to level up cooking and save everything you need to get it to where you need to be, it's really not that inefficient. It doesn't take too much time to do it. And then you'll have food as a warrior. So... leveling strategy, I would absolutely recommend duo leveling as a warrior. They're just an amazing duo leveler. They really are. They get accelerated so much because they do a ton of damage, man. As soon as they get sweeping strikes, just sweeping strikes and sitting there and spamming cleave on stuff with sweeping strikes, you do a ton of damage, even if you don't have a great weapon, man. Like, so if you're able to feed them some heals in some capacity, they will really have a good time. Now let's talk about the solo warrior 1 to 10. Solo warrior 1 to 10 is actually not that slow. It feels pretty quick for those of you who've actually, you know, played it a bunch of times. You would assume that maybe it would be slower, but it feels pretty good. They feel pretty strong. You can start hamstring kiting at level 6. A lot of times you're gonna have to charge, right? I mean, you're not gonna charge because charge can definitely be a liability. But I would try and do a level even almost immediately. You could just get to like level 6 or something and then link up with someone. That would be my my suggestion. Some general things about warriors though. Like, let's say you're solo leveling as a warrior. even though beasts generally have higher armor and higher health than humanoid targets, so you would think this is a suboptimal target to kill as a warrior. The fact that they're kind of spread out a little bit, they don't run away from you, and there's less mob density usually. They're a little bit more spaced out, whereas a humanoid, you could pull a bunch of other things. Grinding beasts as a warrior can oftentimes be a good thing for you, a good choice, an optimal type of mob to grind. 1 to 10 gnome warrior is pretty bad. Is it? One thing that's interesting though, did you guys notice that undead warriors, even though they start with sword and shield, they can use freaking two-handed swords? Someone told me that. I don't think I've ever leveled an undead warrior, but someone's telling me that. Those are just little vanilla quirks, that even though you start with a one-handed shield, you can equip two-handed swords right off the bat. You don't have to train it. And the other weird thing about trolls start with throwing weapons as a warrior. How weird is that? It's good though. Cooking and first aid are never really a negative for most classes. Yeah, it's the type of thing though, if you screw up your cooking and you like forget to do your boar meat, I definitely wouldn't recommend going back and do it. But if you go into the leveling process knowing this is what these are the materials I need to level cooking, when I come across these materials, I'm not going to throw them out. I'm going to save them. Yeah, dude, level cooking, dude. All the coyotes in the Badlands, easy grind spot. Yeah, beasts are good for warriors. Like, and again, if you are like a new warrior player, maybe you haven't played in a while, you're going to value stuff like stamina more, but spirit on warriors is nuts. And if you're like a pretty seasoned warrior player, you're going to realize that stacking a bunch of strength and agi doesn't really increase your kill speed that much. It's a kind of a marginal increase, as opposed to if you were to stack spirit, it feels like your gear is having a lot more impact to you. You get the most HP benefit from spirit out of all classes, and you're going to be very resource minded and be worrying about regeneration as opposed to surviving the engagement. Should you buy bigger bags or just wait it out? That's a good question. We haven't talked about inventory at all, huh? Inventory. Yeah, inventory is big in Classic. I actually want to give you guys a little sneak peek of a video I'm working on. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek. Where did I put this thing? Okay. Here's a little sneak peek, guys. It's going to be a video coming out in the next day or so. Didn't really do much styling to it, but I was able to kind of sit down and focus a little bit and write some good stuff down. Okay, get shareable link. Copy link. 1 second, I'll pull it up. Love this Baron's music, man. Bags equals buy, craft late with bros. Yeah, it's gonna depend on a couple things, like, you know, if you're on a fresh server or not, or whatnot. What you can do is, like, if you don't have 6 slots by a certain time, like, you can set a little benchmark for yourself. If I don't have enough 6 slot bags by this time, I'm just gonna buy them. They're not that expensive. What are they, like 20 silver or something like that? Okay. All right, we got it. We got it. Here we go. A little sneak peek. It's down here. Okay. So I got some tips here. These are like kind of advanced leveling tips. This is a video I'll be working. It'll be coming out in the next couple days. Right now, it's not polished or anything, but there's some good slides on here. Like, be resource minded. I talk about this all the time. Be frugal. Constantly refine that thing. But one tip on here is staying organized. I want to bring this up on stream because I do think this has a lot of value. So you can stay organized in multiple ways in Classic WoW. You can be organized with your action bars. That's one thing that's big. Right now, you guys should have a general sense of how your action bars are going to be laid out. If Classic WoW were to come out tomorrow, you should be able to hop into that game and quickly set up your action bars, all in some kind of like logical thing to your preferences. So I'm going to put all my, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above that, shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above that, and I'm going to lay everything out in this kind of logical way. You have it all there, organized, come up with a system. And at least for me, with like pet classes, like if I'm playing a hunter, if I'm playing a warlock, I'll keep all my pet related stuff down in a certain section. Any of you guys ever do that as well? Like, I say, okay, the bottom left area, that's my pet section. And I got a 5-second attention span. I'm like a goldfish, right? So I just know it's pet related. It's the bottom left. I use all my shift modifiers are basically for pets. I do all my pet stuff on shift modifiers. So, having a plan, I think you enjoy the game more too if you're organized. And it makes you feel like you're more in control of the situation. We've all been there though, right? Can you guys agree with this or disagree with this? We've all been there where you do level a character and you feel like a mess. Your bags are just sloppy and everywhere. Your action bars are everywhere. You're just lazily throwing skills on as soon as you get them. You're not thinking big picture. and you just feel gross, dude. You just feel gross leveling like that. No one wants to level like that. Take a few minutes. All it takes, it's like cleaning your room. You know, like takes like 5 minutes to clean your room. But sometimes you don't, you know, for whatever reason. You feel like you're too lazy and you just sit there enjoying life 10% less. So staying organized with your action bars is really good. Another thing is, you guys ever have too many add-ons, like really gross, like too many? Anybody go on like an add-on spending spree and they freaking download like 40 different add-ons because you think you need everything? And then it's like so far from that minimalist style, and then you have these weird like bars with like moving characters and all these weird things popping up all the time, and stuff is breaking. You're getting Lua script errors. Just take the essentials, man. Be minimalist. Take the essential add-ons. Don't go too ham with that. And this also applies to inventory. So this is in a weird convoluted way, man. It ties back to what you were saying before about bags. Inventory management and organizing your bags is a big deal. Like, I have a system when it comes to bags too. Sometimes I'll get lazy and I won't. But right, imagine if you have an add-on that opens your bag as one big grid, right? I'll make a mental note and I'll say I'm gonna keep all my like BOE greens and stuff that I want to sell, like stuff that I'm gonna deal with later and gonna give me some sort of financial benefit over in this section of the bag. I'm gonna keep all the gear that I swap back and forth to up in the upper left section of this bag. And having some sort of system to lay it all out so you feel more organized. I think it's gonna help you enjoy the game a little bit more. I mean, to each their own, but you can definitely stay organized with your inventory. Kargoz, as a warrior leveling to 60, would picking up 2 gathering professions be a good idea for gold? Then it's 60, drop one of them for engineering. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it absolutely could. Absolutely. I would definitely get skinning, though. Skinning is like the easiest money, man. You just kill tons of beasts, you skin them. You're power leveling the profession very naturally, and then once you get the max level, you can skin devil swords with it. And as a warrior, you're gonna need those devil sword leathers for your pre-bis. Get the skinning, sell the skins. It's gonna give you some nice supplemental income, give you a nice way to get a few more ticks of spirit-based mana regeneration without having to eat food. I said it before, so yeah, I think that's a good strat, man. Find open all bags to B. Problem solved. Yeah. Yeah, so inventory, right? Crafting reagents, staying organized. And another thing, there's another way to stay organized, guys. Quest log. If you have a big clunky quest log with great quests all over the place, the stuff you didn't abandon and stuff like that, and all the different zone tabs are opened up and you just click it and it's like a dilapidated spider web just of clutter. Nobody wants to look at that, man. Collapse all the zones down so they're nice and clean. Abandon the quests. You know, it just feels bad. You're trying to accept quests and then your quest log's full. It just feels bad, man. I feel like if you stay organized, you're going to be putting yourself in the best possible position to succeed. I have never cleaned my quest logs. Man, you should, man. It doesn't take very long. A lot of it, man, was staying motivated in Classic WoW is feeling like you're in control. You have a plan. You're executing on your plan. You're keeping things clean and tucked away, squared away. Don't staves work with warrior abilities? I've heard some of them have pretty high damage values too. Yeah, you can use any weapon you want, really, up until the point you get axe specialization. So I'll pull up axe specialization right now. I mean, that is kind of a misconception with warriors. All right, that's better lighting. There we go. Okay, so here's the warrior talents. Pretty much, I feel like once you start getting points in axe specialization, then it starts the tides start to change, because anything that could potentially be better than an axe, you have to think about having 1% less crit on it, or 2%, or 3%, or 4%, or 5% less crit on it. So you'll have a situation maybe where you're gonna potentially be able to pick up that Maraudon staff or something like that, the Resurgence Rod, and you're gonna be looking at it, and it's gonna have higher top end, it's gonna be slower, and it's gonna be looking really juicy compared to your lowly Whirlwind Axe. But you have to realize that you're sacrificing like 5% crit to use that. So yeah, in the early levels, man, definitely go for staves and stuff. But once you have access to axe specialization, you're going to be a little bit more pigeonholed into using those. Do sharpening stones make a difference for warrior leveling grinding? I thought about that before. I used to do that just because you can make them almost immediately, right? Isn't sharpening stones one of the first things you can make in blacksmithing? It feels good when you're applying sharpening stones. You definitely like hope it makes a difference. I haven't like really tested it too much or anything like that. Has Blizzard discussed if add-ons will be supported at their end launch? I don't think they've touched that at all. No. What's the difference between leveling as arms or fury past level 40? So one big deal is sweeping strikes. If I had to pick one talent out of this entire warrior talent tree that moves the needle a lot, it's not going to be Mortal Strike like most of you are thinking. It's going to be sweeping strikes, man. I just feel like once you have access to sweeping strikes, you should be using sweeping strikes like off cooldown. You're just killing multiple things at once, man. Every 30 seconds is extremely, extremely valuable. I would say there's more of a case to go Fury if you're duo leveling and you can take more damage early before you have... I think you have wiggle room before sweeping strikes. So you get sweeping strikes at 30, but pre-30, there's some wiggle room. You can go Fury, get Piercing Howl. Piercing Howl is extremely valuable. It's going to save your life tremendously. And if you're duo leveling or something, you can still get some value out of like Blood Craze and Enrage. You know, just because you're going to be attacking multiple mobs potentially at the same time. But the fact that you can't sit proc these is really a big game changer to me. It just feels much, much worse. So I'd personally go pretty much arms all the way down. But I think there is a case to be made to going Fury up until 30, if that makes sense. Also, dual wielding sub level 40 is good. You know, I haven't tried that. Some people have been telling me about that though, and basically going like trying to get fat overpowers. And also, I think one of the main strengths of going dual wielding at low levels is that the weapon progression is much easier. I haven't tried that at all. I prefer the main reason why I prefer the slow two-handed, isn't necessarily damage output. It's damage mitigation. It's the fact that you can hamstring kite, and it's harder to hamstring kite without losing value from your swing timers if you're dual wielding. Isn't sit procking confirmed not working in Classic? It's not like Omega confirmed. It's not, you know, written on a stone tablet or anything like that, but it's like 95% likely it's not going to be in there. Yeah. Will improved Demo Shout increase the threat of the ability? I believe so. I believe so. Maybe not, though. Actually, don't take my word on that. So someone, if there's a good warrior, I'm sure there's someone in here who knows. But improved Demo Shout is awesome, I'll tell you. It is really, really good. It's like a 22% damage reduction or something. Even using it on a mob-to-mob basis, it's good, man. Like, it definitely feels annoying not having booming voice because you feel like you're constantly refreshing your shout without booming voice. It does feel really annoying because anytime you see it under a minute and you see the seconds, you just like feel compelled to refresh it. So it definitely feels more annoying. But improved Demo Shout, man, I think it's worth using even on a single mob. You know, you charge in, you swing, you apply hamstring, and then on the way out, just throwing on that Demo Shout is really nice, man. Also, another reason why improved Demo Shout is really good is because, you know, if you are gonna pool rage, charge in, sweeping strikes, and you're gonna switch over to Fury to hit him with a whirlwind with your sweeping strikes charge, you're gonna be dumping all rage down to 25 because that's all tactical mastery is going to preserve. So in that situation, you can throw in a Demo Shout like easily. So UI trackers and questing add-ons are fine. I'm not sure, man. We're gonna have to see if those are gonna be there on launch. Again, like I said earlier, I hope that we get 2-3 weeks without them though. I think it'd be cool. When is the Protection Warrior guide? If Connor's in here, they've been getting at me. It's been long overdue, man. It's actually done, Brendan, our Protection Warrior guide. We just haven't gotten around to recording it. We have to get 3 people together, record it, edit it. But it's fully done, the Prot Warrior guide. Same with the Resto Shaman guide. Skinning takes 3 seconds if you don't fail. And just guessing 1200 to max level, you have spent about an hour just skinning. It's not too bad, though. Because the thing is, Venithian, you are still hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, 3 birds with 1 stone. 1, you're providing yourself another few ticks of spirit-based mana regeneration so you heal a little bit while you're skinning. 2, you're getting more gold, which is going to help you repair, get weapon upgrades, get your mount. I guess it's only 2 birds with 1 stone, but that's still pretty good. And 3, you're power leveling a profession for later. You're investing so that you can potentially skin Devil Swords later. Pretty good. How would you rate spirit on leather or mail after level 40 as a warrior? Would you take it over the armor stat? I'd have to see on an item-by-item basis, but what I would throw out there is a little nugget for you to like dwell on and have marinate in your mind, is that if you know what you're doing as a warrior, any additional health you have doesn't really work for you on a mob-to-mob basis. That additional stamina or whatever doesn't net out to any more increased combat efficiency. Spirit does. Spirit actually improves your combat efficiency because it increases the rate at which you regenerate, gets you back in the fight faster. So I do think Spirit is very, very good on a warrior. Another thing is Just agility and strength, man. They don't move the needle that much. How geared do you think warriors need to be in order to tank without a shield? Okay, so my good friend and colleague Mooflake, who is the main tank of dogs right now, quite an experienced warrior at this point, you know, with his Mtor with Thunder Fury. His like general feeling towards Fury Defiance tanking, dual wield tanking as a warrior, is you want to take baby steps. So if you're still progressing through a raid for the first time, you're probably not going to be dual wielding. But as soon as you can start to get that thing on farm and get a handle of the situation, you can quickly start swapping over to dual wielding. The other thing too is that if you're a horde warrior and you're tanking, you're going to have to itemize more aggressively because you don't have stuff like Blessing of Salvation. If you're an alliance warrior, you might be able to get away with not dual wielding for longer because you have more threat reduction tools. Did you do pounds? We still... No, we're still like just getting started, scratching the surface with warrior. So with warrior, weapon progression is huge, man. It's huge. Definitely get those early white weapons. They're cheap. This one's a really, really good one. You don't leave the Valley of Trials with something that great or anything. There's no two-handed axe weapon reward as an orc. So I would definitely pick up this large axe. There is a chance though that you might get a really nice one-hander that drops for you. And you just want to evaluate, you know, which one's going to be better. But I would definitely buy this. I think there's another white weapon you can buy too that's good on warrior. Let me find the weapon vendor. Large axe. Oh. I think there's another axe you can buy, right? What am I missing? Maybe this weapon vendor doesn't sell everything. Let's see what this guy sells. Oh, dude, by the way, hunters, man. I love my Hornwood recurve bow. So good. Definitely buy this if you're a hunter. Only 2 silver, 85 copper, super wolf. That might be it. I guess there's not another two-handed sword. Is it a good idea to try to dual wield two-handed tank while leveling? No. I would use a shield, man. You don't want to dual wield tank while leveling. You're gonna have a bad time. The early blacksmith weapons are easy and hit super hard. You could probably consider that, Tyler, if you were duo leveling or something like that, so you have more resources and you can potentially create some sort of synergistic combination of professions to accelerate that. But while soloing, I wouldn't want to craft early blacksmithing weapons. It's going to set you back too much, my man. Unless you're really into it, then go for it. Hey dude, started playing vanilla servers last year and watched your guys on warrior leveling. Found it so helpful. Thanks so much for producing great content for everyone. Jordan, what a nice comment, man. Thank you, buddy. Welcome to the stream, my man. What about human warriors? Any good two-handed swords? So one thing I will point out about warriors, yeah, I mean, you can buy this two-handed sword right here. It's not that great though, I think. It might be. Every race and class is gonna be different though, because you could get quest rewards. That might be better than this type of stuff. You just have to, you know, think on your feet, man. Look at what you have. Look what the weapon vendor near you is selling and see if it's going to be worth it for you. And plan a weapon progression. That's going to make a big deal. Wooden mallet is the nuts, though. 5.0 DPS. What I will say, though, is that some of these, you know those traveling vendors that sell greens? They walk across the barrens. They walk across... where's another one? There's one that goes from barrens to Ratchet. There's another one that walks through Elwyn Forest. He like goes all the way to Red Ridge and back. And they sell some greens. One's called Bronze Greatsword. That's what it's called. No, that's not it. Black. Dude. What is that freaking guy's name? The mallet as a human is good. Yeah, paladins, Tauren warriors, getting that white mace is really good. Honestly, one-handed shield leveling is fine until 10. Yeah, absolutely. If you see the Monkey News speedruns, man, he's using one-hand shield for a while. Human warriors can't use two-handers till level 10. Yeah, they gotta trade it. They gotta train it, right? But with that said, I think... Oh, yeah, that's the one thing, though. There is a level 10 white sword. So if you're a human warrior, you go to Stormwind, you train it, and you pick up this one. I think it's called Gladius. Maybe not. I could be wrong. That came to me. No, one-handed sword. That's not it. Not it. Let me find it. There's a two-handed sword you get at 10. Someone's gonna know in the chat. Aaron's Orgrimmar. Claymore. This is it right here. Claymore. 9.1 DPS. I'm pretty sure this is it. So pretty much as a human warrior, unless you have some sick green or whatever, at level 10, you're going to go to Storm and you're going to do your training. You're going to train 2-handed swords. You're going to pick up your Claymore. This bad boy right here. Yeah, Claymore. Yep. Wow, the chat got it too. Yep. There's a really good level 11 staff that I usually get as a human, and then transition to Staff of Westfall. Yeah, Staff of Westfall is great, dude. I feel bad for the people that choose the pants over that. Yeah, that's going to be definitely what some of your item progression. Does anybody remember the names of those traveling vendors, though? Because I want to look up the items they sell. They sell some really sick greens. Some really sick greens. And I know some of the warriors that really like try to speed level, they try and save every drop of money they can so they can race to those vendors and buy them. I feel like someone is going to remember what those vendors are called. Oh, Lazarick is the goblin. Oh, nice. Okay, let me see. I feel like it's a human that sells it, though. Is Lazarick the guy in... Nothing's coming up. Antonio Pirelli. That's it. I knew it was some funny name like that. Antonio Pirelli. I love the chat. You guys are awesome. Dude, he sounds like an Italian like opera singer or something. Look at him, dude. He looks Italian. Hello? You can see him down there. He looks... Alright. Yeah, so he paths from, like, this little bridge where you res those dead dudes all the way to Goldshire. And he sells... Oh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Blessed Claymore, Executioner Sword. I think this is the most nutty one, though. Guys, look at this. Look how good this is. Look at this weapon. Look how good this weapon is. Heavy Spiked Mace, 12.5 DPS plus 6 Strength, level 14. 73 silver. This is the nuts right here. Hey, Kargoz, you look extra yellow today. I know, so I've heard, man. People say I look like Mountain Dew. I gotta get the light and Oh, man, who hosted? Someone hosted? Lai Litz ZZ hosted for 64 viewers. My friend, thank you very much. I hope you had a great stream. Welcome everybody coming over from that channel, from Lai Litz channel. My name is Kargoz. I love this game, Classic WoW. I'm very excited for Classic WoW. We're just trying to nerd out today and talk about leveling plans. We're doing Classic WoW launch prep. So welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you had a good stream, my man. I'll try to hit you back with that host. How are you going to afford that, though? Some warriors, they plan it. If you know that this is your plan to save up so you can buy a heavy spiked mace, you can do it. You can do it. I mean, this is really good, man. And look at Executioner Sword, level 19, 15.9. And it's slow, guys. Look how slow these are. 3.4? That is the nuts, man. Blessed Claymore, 14.6 with plus 7 stam. That doesn't blow me away as much. The one that blows me away the most, not even that. It's probably Heavy Spiked Mace. Heavy Spiked Mace is the nuts. It's cheap, too. Is this DB better than Classic Wowhead? Oh, they're probably about the same, my man. Very much deserved, Kargoz. You have a great stream, dude. Thank you very much, man. I'll hit you back with the host sometime, but I do appreciate that. I don't really get hosted much. Thank you, man. You look like a nerdy neighborhood New Yorker from The Simpsons. It's funny, bro. The bracers are good too. Let me see the bracers. Owl bracers. Yeah, I wouldn't spend this much money on it though. I mean, yeah, I probably wouldn't. I'd just save I'd save it all. I don't think it's gonna do that much for you. What is plus 4 agi gonna do for you? Plus 2 stam. I don't know. Just save money for weapons. Ironwood Maul though. Oh no, Heavy Spiked Mace. This is the nuts, man. If you can get this, fresh server, you'd be the first guy to hit up Antonio Pirelli and purchase some of his wares. And, I mean, you have 2 shots at it. You could buy Heavy Spiked Mace or Ironwood Maul. They're both pretty good. What vendor is it? It's Antonio Pirelli. He's actually an opera singer in Stormwind. The traveling salesman. Early warrior leveling, you want to utilize improved rend while using one-handed shield. Preston Churchill, I respect your opinion, my man, but I would personally disagree. Just because improved rend at the early levels, let's look at rend. This is what we like to nerd out with. Let's look at the early ranks of rend. So you get a rank at 4 and get a rank of 10. So you're saying improved rend, so I'm assuming you're going to need to be at least probably like, you know, 13 to get 3 points into improved rend, right? So 28 damage over 12 seconds. Okay, so let me make a little mental note. 28 damage. So if you get improved rend, the talent, that is going to improve the damage of rend by 35%. Okay. Let me 28. That's going to now to 8.4 additional damage over 12 seconds when you get 3 points into it at that rank. I don't know. I feel like 3 out of 3 deflection is going to be better, and you take rend pretty much. I pretty much go 5 out of 5 deflection. Parry is really good. 4 parries is equivalent to an additional swing. We talked about this the other day. Parry is a fantastic stat. Parry gives you defense. Additional defense gives you more offense in the form of parry haste. Really good. Someone donate. I got a really epic thing pop up. It was a...
Check this one-hander about as good as Cruel Barb DM.
Oh, hell yeah. Kemp of Shame with the $5. Wasn't that an epic notification? Holy moly, man. Thank you very much for the $5, my man. I'll check it out. 4825. It's like, wow. 4825. Thank you for the 5, bro. Callous Axe, okay. Requires level 24, 15.0 damage per second. Sold by some people in Stormwind. Requires level 24 though, man. I don't know. That's not that much damage for level 24. Plus 8 attack power. That's not doing too much for you. Speed's alright. 29 to 55, 15.0 damage per second. So let's compare it to what Mr. Pirelli was selling us. We got the Callous Axe, 29 to 55, 15.0 DPS versus at level 13, at level 14 you're getting 12.5, 3.4 weapon speed. So Executioner's Sword obtainable at 19 is 15.9 DPS. It might be the type of thing where if you just really don't have anything better and you're there, it might be worth it, but it's kind of expensive too, man. 2 gold, 4 silver. I don't know. You just have to evaluate on a, on a case-by-case basis if this is going to be oh, it's a one-hander though. What the fuck am I saying? It's a slow one-hander. Oh. Okay, that's a lot more exciting now. I mean, I'd still want to level with a slow two-hander most likely, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's a one-hander. Sorry, I was missing that. That's the big thing. One-hander, yep. It's expensive though. I don't know. I still think I'd be leveling with a two-hander. I'm trying to think of a situation. Maybe if you wanted to do that dual-wield leveling and try and go for the fat overpowers and stuff like that, could be good. But it is expensive, man. 2 gold. 2 gold. Yeah, I do like that though. 2.8 with a 2.8 speed, you could hamstring kite with this. Right? There are two-handers that are faster than this, you know what I mean? So you could get a shield, you could get Callous Axe, use Demo Shout, Hamstring Kite, you'd be taking very little damage. It's very interesting, man. I'd like to try this, actually, and see how it plays out. One of the main pain points for me, though, is the gold cost. It's pretty expensive. Johnny Bravo Kargoz, do you upload your live stream VODs anywhere? I don't on YouTube, because people like to come to my YouTube channel for, videos and stuff, but it's on Twitch. If you just go to my Twitch channel, it shows all the best live streams for, like, the past month. What server you playing your lock on Kargoz? I'm not sure. I don't know how we're gonna decide servers yet. We'll probably just feel it out. Once the servers roll out, we'll pick one and try and reserve all our names on it, and then make a big announcement for it. The speed is very bad. The speed's pretty good. 2.8. It's pretty slow. You want a slow weapon. You get better value from parry too. You get better value from parry with a slower weapon you have. One-hand leveling is very viable if you collect dungeon quests and tank. That's very interesting, Mike Stout. I'm curious. I don't know if anyone is big brain and can calculate, like, what the damage reduction is on an average shield of a certain level, What if you did use this and you had some really good shield? Is that going to net out to, like, 10% less damage taken? If it's something like that, it could be good, man. This is stuff I'm really excited to theorycraft. Is it possible and worth it cost-wise to weave in the warrior shoot ability while hamstring kiting? Nah. I mean, you maybe could. I could imagine a way you would want to do that. Like, let's say if the mob just hits super hard or something, you're trying to squeeze every last point of value out of your hamstring, and like even getting into melee range of it is going to not be that efficient of a trade because it's just hitting so hard. I can't really imagine a situation, but you could eke out a little bit extra value and get to range and shoot at it. You could. I don't think in reality it's going to be that useful. It'll probably be some really niche type applications. Are you streaming your first 24 hours? Are you worried about getting stream sniped in the contested zones? I'm not too worried, man. I think we'll be all right, to be honest. Because we're basically gonna play. It may be more than 24 hours, whatever is necessary to get sufficiently ahead of the pack and try and hold that. We want to get ahead of it and hold it. So if we can get ahead pretty early and we feel like we're in a good spot, then we can take it easy and rest a little bit, rest a few hours. I will be streaming it though. How effective is parry haste if you're hamstring kiting? It would be less effective in the sense that you're getting hit less, right? You have less opportunities to parry, but parry overall is still a fantastic stat. And it also is very much congruent and in line with synergizes with having a big meaty slow weapon, because it'll shave off 40%. The parry haste will save off 40% from your next swing, so it'll look like you're swinging right after. What about enrage versus sweeping? So you're not going to be able to proc enrage on demand. That's the thing, man. You're not going to be able to proc this on demand, which is a big deal. Like, this talent goes from basically saying every mob you fight, you will... Okay, so this enrage, this is the way I read enrage. Maybe I'm a little dramatic, but this is how I read enrage. This used to read, gives you a flat 25% damage bonus, like with pretty much 100% uptime against every mob you take, but you take a little bit of extra damage, but that damage is mitigated by blood craze. But you pretty much just have 25% additional melee damage all the time with enrage, because you could just sit down and proc it whatever you want. That is so huge. 25%, man. It's going from that to reading like sometimes you're gonna get this in a very like uncontrolled state, and it could be somewhat useful, but you can't really count on it. And you know, congrats if it does happen. I don't know. It seems much worse to me. So I just think sweeping strikes is the way, dude. You just get sweeping strikes. The extra bleed damage I feel is better than over parry if you're hamstring kiting. It's really not that much though. So at that low level you get 8 damage from the level 10 parry. I don't know. Like, this is giving you just another percentage of avoidance in general, man. Like, so good. You have 5% base. So with this 5 out of 5 deflection, you have a 10% chance to parry, because you got 5% base plus an additional 5%. I was thinking in terms of duo leveling with a shaman. I didn't see your multi-box question. Best way to ask questions is message me on Discord, because the chat moves real quick. Okay, I was thinking in terms... Okay, why not spec 3 out of 3 rend? You need it for deep wounds. Why not spec 3 out of 3? You need it for... Oh, you do need it. Yeah, you do need it, but you should just take it at the last possible second. So you go 5 out of 5 deflection, 2 tactical mastery, then you go 3 rend, and that opens up into deep wounds right away. But you're gonna go overpower first, then deep wounds. This is like the... This is the... Whoops. You go impale, then you go 5 out of 5, sweeping strikes, then anger management. This is the build out to 30. 1 to 20 shard would be overkill. Once you get out of the immediate starting area, there's much more space to move into. Yeah, we're not gonna have a 1 to 20 shard, dude. That would be insane. It's just gonna be the starting area. It's gonna be like 1 to 12, pretty much. It might be advantageous to stay in that sharded environment for as long as possible. Maybe instead of leaving to go to the Barrens at 12, maybe you stay till 13, 14. I don't know. Maybe you go across the bridge and check. I don't know. You probably just, yeah. It'll be interesting. I mean, I think on a server of 2,500, 3K people, it won't be too bad, especially in the zone like in a zone like the Barrens. There's a lot of space to move around in the Barrens. I think my go-to is if it really is a clusterfuck in the Barrens, I might go straight for that human castle in south of Ratchet and just go there with a bunch of people and try and kill stuff there for a little while, or solo. That might be a good fallback location. Super high mob density. As level 10, you hit for 8 damage and 1 hit as well. What do you mean? As far as improved rend, are you talking about, my man? Not taking improved charge. That's something that I'm really curious about. So, a lot of people, man, A lot of people, they hate on improved charge. I don't know, but I'm kind of a fan of improved charge personally. I actually think it's quite good. This is when I would potentially take improved charge. There's a chance that it's, I don't know, man. Improved charge is sick. Like, getting 6 rage instantly, it's really good, man. It really is good. I don't know. People hate on it, but I don't know. I mean, that's 18 seconds worth of anger management value. 18 seconds in combat is going to generate the same. The thing about, okay, this is the main reason why people hate on improved charge, though. Is because if you're solo, especially as if you're a solo warrior, in a duo, it's not too much of a concern. But if you're solo, a lot of times you're not going to be charging because it's going to be a liability to charge. So you're just going to face pull, or you're going to throw a little throwing weapon at him or shoot at him. So that definitely eats away at the value. But getting this big tempo burst 6 rage, man, like, I like it. I like it. This is when I would take it, though, if I was leveling personally. If I was leveling a warrior right now, I would build it like this. I would get sweeping strikes. I would get sweeping strikes before anger management. So 30, then 31 anger management, and then really at this stage after axe specialization, you can go back and get it. This is what I would get it after axe specialization. You could go in and get 2 points here, and then just put like 1 into 2-handed weapon specialization. My gut tells me that this 6 rage that you get every time you charge is better than a slight flat damage increase with 2-handed weapon specialization, getting improved charge, then go and get heroic strike, then proceed down in the fury tree. It's just how I would build it out. If I was dual leveling, I'd just get improved cleave right away. I love improved cleave, but if you're solo, just get, you know, piercing howl first, improved cleave. Yes, get this blood craze, and this would be it. Charge will save you travel time in duos too. I mean, charge is good in general. The ability charge is fantastic, but a lot of people hate on improved charge because you're not charging that much if you're solo warrior. Where's the monk class? Yeah, we'll get to that. Get to the monk class in a couple of years. Yep. Imp charge in leveling is better than 1% damage. You should shoot and charge when the shot is fired. Oh, that's a nifty little trick, actually. Yeah. You fire, then shoot while the projectile is mid-motion. I don't know why I've never heard that before. That's really cool. That's a handy-dandy tip right there. Okay. Let us go back to the PowerPoint. Staying organized. What is the next thing? Staying motivated. This is another one too. I mean, a lot of this is kind of common sense, but I think it does deserve a little bit of airtime here. Like the idea that some people will tell you something is not optimal, like not optimal to do, but you know yourself, right? If you've been marathoning WoW, been playing for like 8 hours, and you're tired and you're feeling unmotivated, do whatever you need to do to stay motivated and have fun. You know what I mean? If it's world PvP, if it's professions, it's whatever. Like, the whole point I'm making here is that if you quit, like, if you just play and go super hard for a week straight and then you quit, what's the point? You know what I mean? The person that's going slow and steady, putting in 2-3 hours a day, having fun is going to get the 60 and you're not, you know? So, just a little thing, but, you know, to all the people that, you know, will tell you something is not optimal to do, if it's going to help you stay motivated and keep your head in the game, man, go for it. The staying motivated one is definitely one you'll need with the warrior leveling. Yeah, it's true, man. What percentage of people do you think who roll warrior are going to get to 60? I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. I don't want to give my opinion. I want to see what you guys think first. What percentage of players that set off on this great journey to be a warrior are going to get 60 as that warrior? Are going to hit level cap? See what you guys think. 20%? That's pretty optimistic. Pretty optimistic. 100%? Yeah, dude, 100%. 1%? I think I'm somewhere in the range of like 5 to 10%, man. I don't know. I think a lot of people re-roll. Maybe I'm a little low. Maybe it's closer to 20. I don't know. My point is, a lot of people get super amped up about the whole warrior dream, thinking about all the big numbers, flashy, big damage dealer, you know, get to use all the cool weapons. But especially if they're leveling solo, man, they realize they get to like level 30 and they're like, man, this sucks. I'm out. What are we talking about? We're talking about everything, man. We're talking about launch prep, classes. We'll go back to the other PowerPoint now, though, to how to get ahead. Oh. Ability progression. All right, so ability progression with relation to warriors. Where you would skimp out on would be protection, right? Protection tree is where you would skip as much stuff as possible, pretty much. There's still some stuff you need. You obviously need stuff like Blood Rage. You might need some of the baseline abilities so that you can tank if you need to. But you're really going to make your money by skimping out on as much as possible on stuff in Protection Tree. Also, you can skip subsequent ranks of Thunderclap. All that's really going to do is extend the duration of the Thunderclap debuff and increase the damage very slightly. Probably not worth it. And if the warrior has a priest by his side while doing quests together, I think this would boost the leveling speed massively. Yeah, I mean, as a warrior, you really, it goes from night and day. It goes from having a really rough time leveling as a warrior and you know, really just taking it. It feels like you're just constantly taking an L to having a great time. If you're playing a warrior, you got to convince someone to do a level with you, man. Do you know if the higher ranks of Sunder causes more threat? I don't, man. Does someone know? Anybody know if the higher ranks of Sunder armor cause more threat? Let's look at it, though. I mean, if it does more damage, it should cause... or it does more... Sunder armor. It'll cause more threat in the sense of, like, if the effect is improved, you'll be doing more damage to it, right? So that'll increase threat. But I don't know. I don't know if it by itself gets increased. Is double warrior leveling viable? We were talking about this the other day. It's doable. And we were talking about it yesterday, actually, on Pogren's stream. You could do it. Wouldn't be as bad as people might think, in the sense that you could just charge a couple different targets and then do your little sweeping strikes, cleave, wombo combo together and kill multiple mobs together. You definitely want to charge different targets, though, so you would still be able to generate sufficient rage, because if you charge the same target, one dude's getting hit, one dude's not, and they're generating less resources. It absolutely does, especially your first Sunder. Okay, thank you, Bryce, for answering that, man. Threat produced is equal to armor reduced, adjusted for modifier. Go for Agi Spirit. Scrub Noob. Yeah, I in my V2 warrior leveling guides, I was recommending going Agi over Strength, but this dude Cyray in the Discord, he hit me up and he pretty much mathed it out best he could. And I think it's close, man. But he was kind of making the case that Strength is better than Agi. And what he was saying was kind of making sense, man. Like, stacking Agi is more impactful the more damage you do, the base damage you do. And Strength also impacts stuff like the value you get from Deep Wounds and Impale. I don't know. It's something that still maybe needs to be fleshed out. But it's looking like the numbers point towards Strength having the edge over Agi as well, which is something I wasn't expecting. Also, these talents, I mean, Agi really is only affecting, like, the amount of armor you gain from Agi, first of all, just to further add color to this. The amount of armor you gain from Agi is kind of inconsequential. You get a little bit, but it's nothing to write home to mom about. The amount of dodge you get is alright, for sure. But the amount of crit you get, it will generate more rage, right, if you crit, but you also generate more rage from additional strength as well. And the only talents that really interact with increased crit is Deep Wounds and Impale. And these talents are good, don't get me wrong, but like they're susceptible to overkilling. Also, Impale only is affecting your abilities. It's not even just white attacks or anything like that. It's stuff like Cleave, Mortal Strike, Heroic Strike gets affected by Impale, but your white attack crits aren't affected by Impale. Strength gives you more block chance. Yeah, it's true, but you're not really. I mean, you could be swapping Sword and Board to Shield Bash and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's the biggest thing. Whatever happened to Takanashi and Serana? Takanashi went on vacation for a while. I think he's chilling out till Classic, and I think Serana's still doing his thing. We just did a ton of those PvP things, man. We were kind of burned out from it. It doesn't increase with each rank. It's a static plus 300 threat. The first Sunder costs only 15 rage, less with Imp Sunder, but when you Heroic Strike, you get around plus 500 to 600 threat. Okay, so Bryce, it doesn't increase with each rank. I mean, it'll increase your threat in the way I said before, though. Like, if you're applying more of a debuff, right, you're going to be doing more damage to it and producing more threat. Would you recommend smoking a joint before grinding? If it is legal in your state within this fine union, then by all means, man. But you're probably going to get pretty hungry afterwards, and then you'll have to bounce. Seriously, I believe the defensive benefits of strength would benefit you more overall. You don't rely on chance. You rely on steady kills, which will get you through better, I think. Yeah, I mean, the initial thinking with this Tarek was that in the context of a 15 to 20 second fight, in this short window context, as opposed to like a 3-minute fight where you're getting all this aggregate value, in this short window, it would take a colossal amount of this linear power curve with, you know, attack power to go from 10 hits to 9 hits to kill the mob. That was the initial thinking, and that you might as well put your eggs into the basket where you can get lucky and occasionally kill the mob way faster with a big crit. Now it appears like the math is supporting a different argument where strength is still has the edge over agi. Is there a date of release now? No, my man. No date at this point. Zaru is now hosting. Thank you very much for the host, my man. Appreciate it, Zaru. Can you level as prot so you can tank dungeons better? You could, but you don't need to, man. Like, you don't need to go prot to tank. You're just kind of shooting yourself in the foot for when you're outside of the dungeons. I would just go arms. Arms is better at tanking than Fury, right? You just get a little bit more avoidance. You can stance a little bit more. So, you know, if you want to tank dungeons, that's a stronger case for going arms. Are you going to show a prot spec? I don't really know a prot spec, like a leveling prot spec or something like that. I don't know how that would even work, like getting revenge and stuff like that. Some people have done it. Some people back in OG vanilla even have leveled this prot the whole way. Do you use execute while leveling? I'm a little bit curious on how execute's going to work. Is execute going to work? What do you guys think about this? Do you think execute is going to work with sweeping strikes and give a full value execute to both targets? Right now, if you do it on the private servers and you execute with a sweeping strikes charge, it feels like it doesn't work. It'll do like a little bit of damage to the other target. It's a little bit strange. When I would use execute is if I'm in a situation where I'm going to like eat afterwards, or if I'm really low health and I'm just trying to finish the mob off, and I'm, you know, it's in that kind of situation. Not on your like standard rotation where you're pretty much pooling rage, then charging into 2 targets or engaging 2 targets and using that rage for good. You're going to use execute. You would use execute when you don't see yourself making use of that rage, that accumulated rage in the next moments. Don't execute the mobs when dual leveling with a priest. Absolutely. We talked about that earlier, right? You want to make sure they get the killing blow so they can get that spirit tap. That's a good point. Shouldn't sweeping strike just copy the damage to the mob? You would think so. I think people are saying that's how it worked back in OG vanilla, that if you executed like a big damage execute on one mob, it would apply that same damage to the second mob. It's definitely not functioning like that on private servers, though. It appears like it deals something, but it's like some really small gimped amount. Deep prot spec is not even good for dungeon tanking. Yeah. Sub hype, hell yeah, Zaru, dude. Zaru in the house. Anyone got a link to an arms leveling talent guide? Yeah, we just went over it, man. Hit deflection, 2 out of 2 tactical mastery, 3 out of 3 improved rend, 2 out of 2 overpower, 3 out of 3 deep wounds, impale, finish this off, get sweeping strikes, anger management, 5 out of 5 axe specialization. Then you can go up and get charge if you wanted, or you can get some more points in 2-handed weapon specialization, mortal strike, cruelty, demoralizing shout, piercing howl, improved cleave, 1 out of 3 blood craze, and just finish off with points in rage. That's pretty much it, my man. Oh shoot, I always do that. That happens to me once a stream where I don't have the correct thing up. I'm sure people can help you out in the chat, man. All right, so weapon training, weapon progression. Definitely train. I would train everything I could, right? I mean, not the one-handed stuff, but I would train all the two-handed stuff, because before you have that axe specialization, you could be using damn near anything. Anything could be good to you as a warrior. So I would definitely, as you go to the capital cities, make a note as a warrior to get the training for stuff. It's like 10 silver, right? It's not a big deal. Weapon progression. Let's take one sample warrior's weapon progression. You'd be using the starting sword, starting weapon. You'd move into like large axe. You'd move into the two-handed sword or two-handed axe at 10. Maybe some of those greens. You're eventually going to get up to like 30. You'd get the whirlwind axe, or you would get the bone biter. Whirlwind axe is going to carry you to like the Uldaman weapon potentially. I don't know. I have to pull up my thing. Let's get some shaman hype. That's random. Staves early. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm missing that stuff. Staves early is really, really good on warrior. Crescent staff. Whatever the one in Alliance is called, Westfall staff. I played a warrior all the way to level 60 on Astarius, and I have to say you should be really sure you want to play a warrior. I mostly leveled solo, and it was quite tedious. That is for sure, my man. Some dude's putting movie spoilers. All right, I'll time him out for a minute, dude. I'll put the user in timeout. Can't be spoiling movies for people. Whirlwind Axe is pretty meh. Whirlwind Axe is sweet, man. It's another benefit for duo leveling, though, right? If you're duo leveling, like, it's that much easier to pick up that Whirlwind Axe. It's not as much of a nightmare. I think you could probably two-man it, right? Probably two-man. Even the harder stuff, I mean, no, you'd probably need some help with the elemental guy. Oh, dude, is that Mooflake in the house? Smokerin, dude? Warrior is super fun, but takes some commitment, and you will get triggered and upset. Mooflake, you want to hop in Discord, man? If not, it's all good, man. Mooflake's the legend, helped me out with the Prot Warrior guide. He's really awesome guy. Try leveling Melee Hunter, and after, you will love Warrior leveling. The level the whole 1 to 60 is a Melee Hunter the whole way, no pet. That's the ultimate vanilla challenge right there. Whirlwind Axe is definitely easier to get on your second character. You can just send over the mats and stuff, or just buy them off the auction house and send them to your warrior. Thoughts on Paladin leveling? I like leveling as a Paladin. I think it's not the end of the world that you don't have sit procking with Reckoning. It's okay. I'd go Deep Ret to 41, Respect to Prot Holy, get Blessing of Sanctuary and Consecration, AoE grind the rest. Oh yeah, the Scarlet Monastery Axe is sweet. Bone Biter, right? Bone Biter is the bee's knees. Check out Bone Biter, dude. Bone Biter. I'd honestly recommend leveling an easier class first to funnel gold and gear into a warrior while leveling. Yeah, I'd probably dungeon mob tag my warrior, man. I'll level an easier class and then give my warrior the good life when I level him up. Have some group support. What are your thoughts on the Countdown to Classic podcast? I love that dude. Josh is my man. I've been on it for the CWL announcement. Yeah, I really enjoy Countdown to Classic. He's a really good guy. Do you think it's worth taking the time out of trying to stay ahead of the curve at launch for Whirlwind Axe? Or is there another weapon close to how good it is? See, this we're looking at one right here. So if you're Alliance, this is an Alliance quest. Yeah, this is the Scarlet Monastery quest. This is the one where you can get Sword of Serenity. Rogues pick this one up, Sword of Serenity or Bone Biter. It's kind of annoying to do, but it's a guaranteed reward, and you just knock out all the SMs, and you can get this instead of Whirlwind Axe. And some like really good warriors, like Tribe and stuff, they go for this rather than the Whirlwind Axe. But Sword of Serenity is sick for prot leveling, I bet. Yeah, Sword of Serenity is really good. Thrash Blade, though. That Thrash Blade. Do you think quest rewards are good enough for warrior leveling, or is it a good idea to try to grab some dungeon loot BOE? So I would only really recommend doing a dungeon, and I would only think it's the most efficient line when you can get some guaranteed weapon upgrade out of it. To me, that's the line in the sand where something becomes valuable. It may be valuable enough to do it even solo. Like, let's say you're solo leveling a warlock, I could see it being valuable if you feel like you have a strong group to go in and get your Gravestone Scepter out of BFD. But especially if you're duo leveling and you can both benefit from a guaranteed quest reward, I think it's a night and day conclusion there. Like, if you are duo leveling for some reason with another warrior and you can both get Bone Biters, it's just much more compelling. It seems like it would be an obvious worth it thing to do. Check out Kang the Decapitator. That's one of the legendary ones. You level another character first, and then you funnel your warrior Kang the Decapitator. 560 damage. That is insane, dude. 560 damage bleed. Do you think running Dead Mines at like level 25 for gear is a Warlock Vanilla? No, I don't think that'd be worth it. What would you? 25 is way too high for Dead Mines, man. What would you be picking up out of Dead Mines that would even be worth it? I would think at 25 you might want to start thinking about BFD though and getting that group together. Would you recommend skinning / mining for a paladin leveling, or since you don't need to save for a mount at 40, you can level a crafting profession? Paladin is kind of expensive though, man. Like, Paladin is something that I was surprised. There's a lot of abilities to buy as a Paladin. Some of the hybrids, I think that they spend more. It felt kind of expensive leveling that Paladin, even though you got the free mount. There's just so many damn abilities. Yeah, I mean, if you're dual leveling and you both have free mounts at 40, though, you're gonna have a lot of, you know, excess gold and do something cool with it. Emberstone Staff, yeah, but I mean, let me see Emberstone Staff, dude. It's not a guaranteed. That's the thing about Emberstone Staff. Emberstone Staff, I think, is like a 20% drop, or 40%. It's actually not that low, but you know, I don't really bank on these percent drop things. I would only go for stuff that's guaranteed. You know, like if you want to go do Dead Mines and you get lucky and get Smite's Mighty Hammer, though, dude, Smite's Mighty Hammer is the nuts. 19.7 damage per second. This weapon, guys, legendary. Wait, does this mean Kargoz has chosen Warlock instead of Hunter? Damn right, man. Going Warlock. Chasing the Warlock dream this time around. Staff of Westfall. Staff of Westfall is really good. Yeah, because it's guaranteed, too. Guaranteed. We like stuff that's guaranteed. Guaranteed stuff is good. Defias Brotherhood. Questline, you get this 20.5. This is better damage per second than Smite's Mighty Hammer? What? I mean, you get Strength and Agi, which probably... Yeah, I mean... It's faster. I mean, it's slower, too. I mean, Smite's Mighty Hammer is better, right? Smite's Mighty Hammer is better. But it still surprised me that the damage per second is higher on Staff of Westfall. Right? Smite's Mighty Hammer is so good, too, because it's 3.5 speed, man. Like, that is just so sick for a warrior hamstring kiting and stuff. Get that sick parry haste value, plus 11 strength, plus 4 agi. It's still better, Smite's Mighty Hammer, but at the same time, the plus 11 spirit on a warrior is super good, too. Staff of Westfall could be better, man. It could be. I don't know. I mean, the spirit at an early level is really, really nice on a warrior. Hello, everyone. Just tuned in. Apostle Alex, welcome to the stream, my man. Welcome, dude. If you're playing an ally warlock on a PvP server, be ready to be cannibalized. That's a great little statement right there. No PvP trinkets. Those undead rogues are going to be looking out for you. Although I have to say, I was talking about this the other day. You know how people always say Alliance Warlocks have a bad time because of all the undead rogues? I was talking about this the other day. I feel like it's scarier to go up against a Shaman as a Warlock. I feel like the Shaman matchup would be even worse than a Rogue. A Rogue you could probably deal with. You'll still probably survive long enough to sack your Voidwalker and have a fighting chance. It's a Shaman, man? You double sack your Voidwalker and they just purge off the shield every time. They have an interrupt on a 6-second cooldown. Like, they have Grounding Totem, Tremor Totem. That seems like a very hard matchup as a Warlock. Can you explain why a Warrior needs a slow weapon? Yeah, certainly. It's because you're going to be applying hamstring to the target and running out of the mob's hitbox range and tracking your swing timer, your weapon speed, your swing, your auto attacks with a swing timer, and you're going to trade one hit for one hit. So the mobs are attacking much faster than you, and being able to trade a 3.5, attack speed weapon hit with like a 2.0 or 1.5 of the mobs, like that's going to be, you're going to win out on that trade. And also with the big slow weapons, you get additional value from parry haste. Yeah, it's more likely that you'll be in the early part of your swing timer, so you can get full 40% bonus to your next swing. There's a lot of reasons, man. I poly and run away, cause bitch. Wand the Tremor. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't play an Alliance Warlock, but I feel like going up against Shamans would be very, very difficult. They're very susceptible to Dispel. You're gonna 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have your Voidwalker out, right? Pretty much all the time. That shield does nothing for you. They just purge it off in 1 second. Do you think there's any way to take advantage of Sulthrez the Lasher? I mean, that's the cool thing, though. Like, once you're duo leveling, there could be a way. I don't give up on that. If you're solo leveling, I don't think it's worth it. But, if you really can be creative and think of a way to accelerate the rate at which you can obtain Sulthrez the Lasher in a duo leveling scenario, it's possible. a lot of stuff becomes like more viable in a duo leveling context. If I'm going Tauren Warrior, should I stick with two-handed maces until Whirlwind? Just take whatever you can get, Hans. You're probably not going to have that much flexibility to itemize exactly how you want. So up until really the point where you start getting those two-handed, the axe specialization, you have a lot more flexibility. Right? We talked about this earlier. If you're going to use something other than an axe, once you have those talents, you have to think of it of not having 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5% crit on it. Is it going to take some time to get a swing timer add-on? If we get a beta, if we do get a beta, it's likely we're going to have add-ons on launch. If there's no beta, pretty decent likelihood there's going to be no add-ons for a little while. So we'll see what happens, man. If there's no beta, there probably won't be a swing timer on launch, and that will kind of suck for the Warriors. But you can kind of manually do it in your head. You can just count the Mississippis and count 3 seconds, and pretty much still have some sort of benefit. No beers today? Nah, man, I'm sticking with iced coffee today. We're talking about Warrior right now, man. If you have any questions about Warrior, definitely hit me up. Monkey Axe, BIS for Warriors pre-AV. What is Monkey Axe? I'm going Tauren Warrior. Should I stick with two-handed maces until Whirlwind? No, Hans, man. You just take what you can get, man. You just evaluate each weapon equally, man. Like, just look at the top end, look at the speed, look at what stats it brings to the table. How is it Warrior Druid leveling? Warrior Druid leveling, I think it'd actually be pretty good. That's kind of grown on me a little bit in the sense that the Warrior can maintain threat and aggro, and the Druid can go from behind and start shredding the target. I think it'd actually be pretty good, man. I don't know. What do you guys think would be faster? You think Druid Warrior or Warrior Priest would be faster? Both are efficient. Warrior Healer in general is really efficient, but I feel the kill speed would be substantially faster on Warrior Druid. Druids need like no gear to operate, and they just freaking get behind the target and shred it while the Warrior's on it. The thing is dead. They get a clear casting proc, they top the Warrior off, they keep going. Warrior Shaman is king, Tyler. Yeah, we have that at God tier for sure. But I'm thinking between Warrior Druid and Warrior Priest. Warrior Druid could be faster, man. How would you value strength versus agi compared to leveling? My thoughts were agi over strength. I'm now kind of second guessing that and thinking that strength might be better than agi for reasons we mentioned before. Kargoz, are you in the military? Yes, I'm in the California National Guard. Army National Guard. Druid can run and tag mobs. That's so true too. Pulling is another consideration when it comes to duo leveling. It's actually a bigger deal than you might think. But that's a big problem between Warrior Paladin. The pulling is very, very slow and kind of clunky feeling. Whereas if you're a Druid Warrior, the Druid can just pull with Feral Fairy Fire. Think about how sick that is. You're the Druid, right? Like 30 yards away, you pull with this. Here's Feral Fairy Fire. Such a good ability. Here it is. Feral Fairy Fire. So you get the first rank at 25? No, you get the first rank at 30. It's a talented thing. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. You get one of these ranks, but 30 yard range, you can use it in form, decreases the armor of the target significantly, so it's directly benefiting both of your damage win conditions. You can pull from massive range, costs you nothing. Very, very strong pulling tool. Why is everything about rush leveling? What is the advantage? There's not necessarily an advantage. I mean, there's advantages to rush leveling. Don't get me wrong. There's advantages. You're going to have access to the open world. It is definitely advantageous to speed level, but at the same time, if you're not into it, just take your time and enjoy the game, man. But one thing I will say is that duo leveling isn't only, in my opinion, the most efficient. It's the most fun, and you can really kind of have your cake and eat it too, and really enjoy the game and relish in the splendors of the game, but also be very efficient about your plan. Warrior Shaman duo leveling. How should Shaman learn talents? I would go Elemental. It's a consideration to pick up the improved Ghost Wolf in the enhancement tree, but Elemental does a lot more for you. You can still play that very much enhanced playstyle, but the Elemental talents do a lot for you, my man. You pretty much go like this. You want to race down to Elemental Focus. This clear casting is just good on all classes. Clear casting is incredible. And you can just play it like a melee shaman, downrank your abilities, fish for this clear casting, toss out max rank earth shocks or once you get it. What's your MOS, man? I'm an 09 Sierra right now. I was 25 Sierra. What is that? 25 Sierra. So you're like tech guy, right? Like signal support, Trunky Monkey. Are you out right now, Trunky? Are you you ETS? Real talk. What do you do as a warrior as you slack off until the mages in your guild get 60, and then they boost your butt for the remaining 40 levels? What do you? Is that your plan? You're gonna get carried up. You're gonna wait for the hunters and mages to get 60, and they're gonna come back and mob tag for you. It's a good strat, actually. It's a pro strat right there. Weird question. I'm a rogue. Buddy is a warrior. Should we still duo level? Yes, I would duo level. If I was a rogue, I would duo level. You just get to do one of the most fun builds. How is this not fun? This might be one of the most fun talent builds, like, period. Like, you just get to, like, one-shot stuff with ambush. It's so cool. It's so cool, man. Backstab and ambush doing mega damage, like, I don't know. If I leveled a rogue, maybe I'm biased here, but I would just friggin' totally I would totally go this build. Something like this, right? You can go with the crit or the dagger specialization. Either way, you're gonna max out. You're gonna get remorseless attacks, and you're gonna be backstabbing up till 18. The warrior's gonna get the threat from the front. We watched a video yesterday where Warrior Rogue got to 20 in 9 hours. That's very good, man. Wouldn't sword spec be better than axe because of the extra swing gets you extra rage? And I haven't mathed it all out. It's been the warrior consensus for years and years now that axe specialization is the way. People say crit is the bread and butter of your whole damage synergy package with deep wounds and impale. Everyone is just super in love with this axe specialization. But to be honest with you, I've never tested sword specialization. I don't think mace specialization is like a PvP thing. But I don't know. I feel like it would just math out better with axe specialization, being able to get like this kind of compound effect, stacking crit, just getting more and more crit seems better than getting 5% in another random mechanic. It's interesting though, man. I haven't really tested it out too much. You'd have to plan the weapon progression differently around two-handed swords. That could be interesting. It's easier to get good access to. I've tested swords for leveling. It's much worse. Yeah, I'd be interested to try my hand at that and see what kind of results we could get from it. Leveling rogue is all combat, right? If you're solo, yes, very much combat. You're going riposte. You're getting combat swords all the way, man. But you can still throw on daggers if you're combat swords and open up with an ambush if the situation dictates. But I'm saying if you're duo leveling, absolutely go the ambush spec, man. So much fun. So much fun. Yeah. Sword is fine, but you have few two-handed swords. Yeah. Kargoz must be on some bell juice because this man is green, so I've heard, man. Apparently I look like Mountain Dew right now. I think my lighting's jacked up. Dude, mace spec is broken? Really? Get that whirlwind mace. How do you see leveling a priest as disc even playable? Yeah, priest is very flexible. Priest is a very flexible class to level. These talents just do a lot for you, man. Like, as long as you get wand specialization, mainly Spirit Tap. Spirit Tap's the main one. Wand specialization would be a second, but this talent right here, Spirit Tap, just carries you to victory. You can totally go disc. Disc is good. If you're with a warrior, giving him divine spirit and getting all these talents, it's really good. You go shadow as well, but I don't know. Priests are one of the classes that have a lot more flexibility as far as what talent builds you want to go. $2 donation from Race Pool. Keep the awesome content going. Hype for launch. Thank you very much, my man. Thank you for the $2, bro. I dislike Spirit Tap when you're in a party of 3+. That makes a lot of sense, yeah, because you can't get that guaranteed kill. I mean, you could still probably finesse it, and you could like Mind Blast to secure the kill, but then you're getting rid of one of the main benefits from Spirit Tap, which is being able to get you know, get this effect without having to cast the spell, you know, because as soon as you cast
Keep
that
the
spell,
awesome content going. Hyped for launch D.
as soon as you cast the spell, you're going to be put inside that 5-second rule, regen state. So that's one of the main benefits. You can finish something off with a wand and still get Spirit Tap and double dip. You get your natural Spirit-based mana regeneration plus additional ones from Spirit Tap. Would love to see a pro leveler speed 1 to 12 as a no more. There's some videos out there, man. My honey is a slow clicker shaman main. Any advice on being able to play with him without making him feel rushed? Okay, if I was a shaman, the two leveling duos that stick out to me as awesome would be Druid Shaman and Warrior Shaman. Druid Shaman is a little bit more like user-friendly. It's a little bit more accessible. You have a lot more wiggle room. You pretty much can't die, Druid Shaman. Druid Shaman, you're not going to die as Druid Shaman. And it is really strong. So Druid Shaman would be a good thing to dwell on. But if he doesn't want to play Druid, Shaman Warrior is great as well. Kilgore, are you taking off, man? Good to see you, Kilgore. Good luck today, man. Hiding at work for a few minutes. Please post up segment of anything Paladin related. What do you want to know, man? You have any questions about Paladin? Ooh, we got an item. What is this item? 4825. Oh, this is the one we looked at, right? Callous Axe. Okay. Gotcha. Monkey News has some great speed leveling. The thing is, though, I saw with Monkey News thing, I think he was on a TBC environment, because at the character creation screen it shows the TBC logo at the top left, and that's using 2.4.3 XP values. So I think you're getting more XP on some of his speed leveling routes. I've been studying those though. Oh yes, Priest, my man. Do you believe there is a disc holy spec, a side shadow to level from 40 to 60? No, you're not gonna have a bad time. You could there's even a smite spec if you're going with a paladin. You could do this. We actually tried it out. It's pretty fun. You can go a smite spec on a priest, and you can like the paladin would be getting stuff like Sanctity Aura, Judging Seal of the Crusader, and you can get some of these deep holy talents. Reducing the cast time of smite by 0.5, 5% crit, 3% on renew is quite nice. What do we get? You might as well just get Holy Noble 1 point. Get maybe 2 on Healing Focus. Searing Light. Increasing the damage of your Smite and Holy Fire spells by 10%. That's so good. Especially with Sanctity Aura. That's a flat 20% damage increase, man. Holy moly. That might be it, though. I think you maybe just go down to Searing Light and Holy. As far as spec, as far as this, you'd still get Spirit Tap, of course. And then you'd go into Disc for the rest. But I think it's pretty good, man. Probably something like this would be the play. Yep, like that. When can we expect to see your next proper video guide with so much content to finals before launch? I'm hoping soon. Yeah, I'm hoping to get like some access to the beta or something like that, Anthony. Because I have basically a V3 round of leveling guides, somewhat prepared. I have the guides, I haven't recorded them yet, but I'm hoping to get confirmation on certain things. With regard to the game, and as soon as I can do that, I can start recording them and putting them out there and feeling really good about the longevity of them, so I'm not getting anything wrong. That sounds amazing. I have a Pally friend. Oh, dude, that'd be sweet. Yeah, this is really fun. If you look at the Paladin, the Paladin talents, so you have stuff like this, Sanctity Aura, increasing holy damage by 10%, and Seal of the Crusader gives bonus holy damage as well. And mobs can't have resistance to holy. That's not a thing. Holy resistance. So Seal of the Crusader, increasing holy damage taken by up to 30 at level 12. Let's see what it's like at 52. Unleashing this seal's energy will judge an enemy for 10 seconds, increasing holy damage taken by up to 140. So he judges Seal of the Crusader on cooldown on multiple targets, and you just smite stuff to death. It was pretty fun. Kargoz, will you save your lives on YouTube? Nah, man, but it's going to be on Twitch. A lot of people watch the VODs on Twitch afterwards. Mauricio. Sweet, the holy resistance thing is very clever, dude. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing, man. It's a fun thing. I think it'd be fun to try. You're not gonna die too. If you dual level as double healer, like you're not gonna die. You're gonna have a good time. Is Shadow Spec bad for leveling? Absolutely not, man. Shadow Spec is great. Shadow Spec is good. I mean, you run into... There's some issues dual leveling. I mean, Shadow Spec is good. Shadow Spec is good. It's the go-to. I don't want to hate on Shadow at all. This is what most people level as when they come to Priest. Most people get Wand Spec. They go down, proceed down Shadow, and then at 40, they'll respec for Shadow form, or they'll wait to 45 and respec at that point. Very good. Shadow Priest is really good. Quick Shaman prep? Yeah, absolutely. Ask whatever you want, Tankerino. Do your don't do your water totem quest immediately. Does a shadow damage wand get affected by the plus 15% shadow damage from shadow form? Apparently it does. That's what the stream was saying today. They're saying that the wands do get affected by talents. I don't have I personally don't have a certain feeling either way. I didn't know if it was normalized into like some kind of physical damage or if they did get buffed. What's best druid solo leveling? Druid solo leveling, you would go feral down to get feline swiftness, and then pretty much proceed down balance. And you splash into restoration to get Furor as well. So you'd pretty much go feral down to feline swiftness. You'd proceed down balance to pick up Omen of Clarity. Then you'd splash into Furor, so you could like have some stuff to do when you swap back into form, and you'd finish going deep feral. Did I miss Paladin? Nah, we've been jumping all over the place. We're not going to have time to do all 9 classes and go super detailed. We did 2 today. We basically did Warrior and Mage. Tomorrow we'll keep it going with some more stuff. How fast is Priest Warrior dual level compared to some of the other top tier combos? I'd say it's a solid tier 1. Yeah, it's not God tier, but it really is up there. It's very efficient. Priest Warrior. I would put Shaman Warrior and Druid Warrior above it, though, I have to say. Thinking about it now on stream, the fact that the Druid can go behind the target and shred it, I do think the kill speed would be much higher. What's your opinion on duo versus trio? I think with a trio with trio leveling, you reach a point where the mob density isn't good enough, and logistically managing 2 other warm bodies is much harder than just 1 other person. You think a crit build, Reckoning Paladin is fast for solo leveling? No, I don't think so, man. You can't really rely on Reckoning anymore. You can't sit proc it. So I think that really severely reduces its viability, the fact that you can't get it on demand whenever you want. I'm much more attracted to... I mean, you could stack crit, don't get me wrong, go ret, deep ret, and do that whole thing. But like I said before, the main way I would level a Paladin if I was on real classic servers, I would go deep ret to 41, respec when I was able to get both Consecration and Blessing of Sanctuary, and I would AoE grind the rest. I can help you out, Al Bonker. Yeah, ask away, my man. Hi, mate. I wanted to roll Priest, but my nephew told that he will roll Priest and we will play together. My question is, which is better, Priest Mage or Priest Lock? I would say Priest Lock. Priest Lock for sure, to my mind. You think grinding spots will be overfarmed since the best ones? They will be overfarmed if you're right in the middle of the pack, yeah. It's kind of inevitable. That's why, it is advantageous to put the time in early and try and get ahead so you can get access to some of the insane grinding spots. Okay, here's the question. Hey, do you have a noob player guide? Like, don't click abilities, how keybinds work, how to shift toggle bars, just a WoW game mechanics guide? Basically what your average player should know in terms of how to mechanically play the game well. I think as we get closer to launch, something like that might be valuable, Big Turk. Like going over basic movement, keybinds, stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely a consideration, man. Thanks for that feedback. Can you go over any class quests that can be skipped because they are too out of the way or can be saved till 60? Druid Waterform quest, yes. You can do the Shaman Water Totem quest much later. You don't have to do it right away. You could skip the Succubus one. You could skip the Fell Hunter one. Or... you think of some other ones. Pretty much skip all the hunter ones other than the pet one. For leveling as a warlock, you don't need any other pet than Imp and Voidwalker. It might be tempting to get it for the completion feeling, but it isn't really needed. Yeah, Imp and Voidwalker. I'm right there with you, man. You think Resurgence Rod will be the best weapon for 45 plus? For who, like a warrior? Resurgence Rod? Let me see who this would be good for. So paladins can't use staves, or staves. Thing about this is by the time you get this, you will have access to axe specialization as a warrior. So even though it's a very slow weapon with good top end and high damage, you're losing like 5% crit. So it's not worth it. IMO. This could be good for like a druid. The 8 mana per 5 seconds and 5 health per every 5. This could be good on a druid, especially a druid that's maybe trying to fish for clear casting procs and is actually going to be meleeing and stuff. This could be really good on a druid. Who else? It'd be good. It's a good thing. You know, it'd be good to have on a warlock or something like that too. Some of the other stuff, but you know, warlock's not going to be meleeing with it or anything like that. As far as the melee classes that would benefit from this, shaman would benefit a lot from this. This would be really good on shaman. This is probably best for the level range on shaman, man. Yeah, shaman really good. This is insane on shaman. I forgot about shaman. Shaman and druid to stick out. Warrior, it's probably not worth it though. What spec and how would you spec for a lock? How do you spec for a lock, and is it viable to duo level with a hunter druid? Hunter druid, yes. Hunter druid is super strong. Hunter druid is super strong. It's the type of thing though where, you know, it's good. Hunter druid is good. It's the best combination for hunter as far as duo leveling. I think hunter most gracefully slots in with the druid kit. Both high mobility early, both single target damage win condition. The druid buffs and debuffs complement the hunter kit. I think it's good. You have some form of wipe prevention, not the best thing in the world. I think druid hunter is very strong. Warlocks are also phenomenal duo levelers as well. I was a basic rogue main back in vanilla, and I hated how when I would jump a lock, the succubus would charm me. Any succubi not good? Or succubi good? Yes, succubuses are pretty broken, man. Succubuses are really good out in world PvP. It's such a pain in the butt. Having to deal with seduce, there's very few things that interact with seduce in general. It's a way to cheese people out with succubus, for sure. Especially if you're a freaking horde warlock. Rogue priest, you could go rogue priest. Like you could. They're both very much single target damage dealers, which is nice. But I feel like if you're going rogue, you're gonna go for that like ambush, high burst damage, high tempo style of gameplay, and that doesn't really slot in too well with some of the priest stuff like Shadow Word Pain. But you could go like a very offensive Shadow Priest build. It'd be fine. Yeah, priest rogue would be fine. It'd be good. What am I feeling about mage lock dual leveling? There's some synergies there. I mean, the mage can be slow and stuff. You could do AoE grinding with mage lock. Thing is, Rain of Fire, which is the warlock's like ranged AoE ability, and you don't get very many ranks of Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire, you pick it up at 20, and then the next time you pick it up is 34, and then it's like 40 something. So it's not gonna be doing much damage, this Rain of Fire. Yeah, 34 and 46. So you don't get many ranks of Rain of Fire, and you can't really use Hellfire because the mobs are gonna be moving if they're walking in Blizzard. You could get some ticks of Hellfire off, but I don't know, the AoE damage win condition, it'd be alright. I mean, you could pull a lot of stuff with a Fell Hunter, you know, or I guess you wouldn't need a Fell Hunter, maybe an Imp or something like that. Probably, yeah, I don't know. You could pull a bunch of stuff with the Warlock pet, then the Mage could do his thing, and you can both AoE them down. It'd be fine. Which duo combos would you say are bad? So the ones that stick out to me that are not my favorite, the ones that I have the hardest time wrapping my head around, and the ones that feel the clunkiest and the least elegant are the ones combining classes that have different damage win conditions. I even think this is more of a deal than misaligned movement speeds. So like a mage in general, what they want to be doing is AoE grinding down lots of mobs, making a big tempo play, killing 10, 12 mobs, then sitting down and drinking and rinsing and repeating. Something like a rogue is like the opposite of that. They want to hyper efficiently kill something and dispatch of it, single target to move to the next. Same thing with a hunter. So when you pair classes that have these misaligned like damage win conditions, it feels quite clunky, and you feel like that it's not that there's not much synergy, there's not much value add that the other person is bringing to the table. Have you tried improved imp with using cursive elements instead of agony? I don't know, maybe against like a really hard elite or something like that, Zach, it could be alright, but the stuff dies pretty quick. I haven't, though. What am I missing? Am I missing something here? You would cast Holy Fire and then pop into Shadow Form and Mind Blast while Mind Flaying after with the burst of the rogue can be some fun. Yeah, it could be. See, I would opt for that, though, Tarek, more so than applying a Shadow Word Pain or something like that, because, you know, with an ambush spec rogue, you're going to be trying to pop these mobs as fast as possible. So something like that might be cool. And priests are pretty good at pulling too. That's another thing that's nice. It could be fine. Priest rogue could be totally fine. What class would you suggest to level with a rogue or a mage? With a rogue, Feral Druid would be my favorite. With a mage, not many people are going to have the know-how to be able to pilot double mage with like massive finesse. So with mage, probably mage paladin, dude. Mage paladin is really sick. But that's also another AoE grinding thing. It's like if you like the AoE grinding thing, which I assume you do if you're playing mage, mage paladin probably has the best AoE grinding potential in the game out of all duo leveling combinations, even more so than warlock pally. It is really the nuts. All right, guys. My goal is to stream for 3 hours today. We streamed for 3 hours and 11 minutes. People are starting to fall asleep, I think. I'm going to do some refinements to this. I want to keep going with this series, but I want to have a little bit more structure tomorrow. There's some stuff I want to lay it out in a little bit more of a structured way. But I appreciate hanging out with me yet again, guys. I really do. It is the highlight of my day, being able to spend time with you guys. So thank you very much for your time, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a good one. And I'll try not to be so yellow tomorrow, or greenish yellow. I'll try not to look like Mountain Dew, Mr. Mountain Dew Man. So thanks again for your time, my friends. I hope you guys have a great day. See you.